And it's tall, right?
And then get up there. Like, I was more impressed from Barkley's house the way Atlanta looked, because I never had seen Atlanta from that view. New York looked exactly the way I thought it was going to look.
And finally, Tokyo, believe it or not, has become one of the less expensive cities to visit, at least for Americans. Now, this is thanks to a favorable exchange rate, but did you know you could stay at a hotel there for just $16? It's clean with an excellent mattress, offers free coffee and tea. The only catch is you have to share your room with a complete stranger.
Out.
This will not end bad.
Nope, out.
What if I take my wife and kids? Can we not stay together? We have to split up.
I do not know this lady.
A correspondent for Sora News 24 stayed a night at the hostel Senju for $16.
I'm not staying at a hostel.
Stayed in a shared dormitory room, which turned out to be a tiny room with just one bunk bed for two strangers. There was hardly any floor space, but the hostel will store your luggage for $1.25. If you want a towel, it's going to cost you $1.90. The bunk itself was clean and comfortable with power outlets, free air plugs provided, which will come in handy if your roommate is allowed for whatever reason. This is not going to end good, I'm telling you.
No. Everyone keeps telling me that as they go through Europe, on these tours to Italy and Spain and wherever, and to Tokyo, the paying of going to the bathroom is the one thing that you have to pay a lot to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, foreigners are surprised you can use the restroom for free in the U.S. Yeah. So you say $14 a night?
$16.
Why don't I just pay $32 and I don't have to sleep with a stranger?
That's
I can just sleep there by myself. Boom. Isn't that the way to go?
Yeah. Welcome to America.
Or whoever you're traveling with, you guys split the $32.
Yeah. That is Trash Today, brought to you by our friends at Mortgage Right.
Hey, if you're looking for a new home, our friends at Mortgage Right here to help. Whether you're a first-time buyer or a seasoned home buying veteran, whether you're looking for that final home or your first home, whether you have a big down payment or need 100% financing, Mortgage Right, one-stop shop for mortgages. Visit them online, mortgageright.com. Call 205-900-7200.
All right, one more thing to go, one more segment on the show that's brought to you by our friends at Champy's, world-famous fried chicken, champyschicken.com, Highway 119 in Alabaster. I tell you, a lot of things that I go to that ends up disappointing me, Champy's never has. Every time I go, best fried chicken in town. Over 10 years, Sterling and his crew right there on Highway 119 in Alabaster. Go by and say hi to him. It's Champy's Chicken, Highway 119, Alabaster.
Follow LT on Twitter at thelancetaylor. Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
We'll try not to debate the debate, one of the biggest blowouts in history. We will talk everything but politics maybe today. We got a lot to get to, including...
Their biggest argument was over golf handicap. That's the funniest part.
Well, I love Bryson DeChambeau, who is a capitalist. He quickly jumped on social media last night and says, I will pay for it, I will host it, and we can broadcast it on my YouTube channel. Yeah. But I can make this match happen, no problem. Bryson DeChambeau. Recent champion.
They literally stood there and said the worst things possible to one another and never really argued until the subject of golf handicap came up. Then they argued. I'm
just like everyone's buddies would do.
I know, just like being at the bar.
Me and Late were playing Chinese checkers trying to watch that last night. And I was like, you
Chinese
understand, these are your options right here.
That's right.
This one guy, I told him, I was like, if I ever get to the state of our current president, you guys, unfortunately, are going to have to put me in a retirement home.
I'm not going to be around. I mean, I'll be around. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, Chinese checkers was the takeaway from that.
That's is that the marble game?
Yeah, it's a marble game. Layton is unbelievable at it, and she talks a lot of shit when it comes to Chinese checkers. I
wonder where she gets that.
I have not played in forever.
Family.
So
tradition.
It took me 4 games to finally beat her. But
right.
That's a fun game. I hadn't played it forever. I forgot exactly. It's probably been 25 years since I played Chinese checkers.
How do you do it? You get them to the middle?
You've got 10 marbles on one side, and it's basically you can hop. You don't take pieces away though.
Right.
But your goal is the way you're set up in this V formation that's got 10. You've got to get set up on their V formation, so you're both moving across.
Yeah, you got to move over to that side. Yeah.
My grandmom used to have Chinese checkers. I don't know why, but my granddad loved good old fashioned American checkers. He fought in the war, and he's like, "My God, we're playing American checkers."
I see this multi-level. I picture the Meltdown guys playing this multi-level chess, and I don't know how that works.
Oh, there's multi-level chess?
Yeah, like I see multi-level chess boards, and I'm like, is that real? Do you guys play that?
4D chess?
Huh?
We play 4D chess on the Meltdown.
4D chess?
Yeah.
Is that different rules than 3D chess?
I can't explain it. Y'all wouldn't comprehend it.
Okay.
Yeah, Jake actually says
Very
4D
condescending.
chess.
Loves to talk down to us.
Very condescending from Lunceford.
All of a sudden,
Hey, y'all started it.
all of a sudden, we're the pretty
Just asked a
girl.
question.
We're the pretty girl that lives across the street on Big Bang Theory, right?
So I knew it yesterday when we went live about the Bronny James thing that the media would soften this. Oh, this is developmental. This is a good play for the Lakers.
Hard change. Let's get into the Bronny James
'cause
draft.
I wanted to combine the two. Like, what is the national media saying about the debate? There's no way they could be like, okay, Joe Biden did a good job on
No,
the debate.
nobody said it. Nobody's saying anybody did a good
that's-
job.
Yeah.
Because I
Everybody's
just
saying-
know how our media is so divided.
No, everybody's
no.
saying this was a sad night for America. That's
Okay.
pretty much your.
Yeah, okay.
that's pretty much
Our
your takeaway.
sports media not nearly as divided. They seem to like jump on the same bandwagon together.
Not on the Bronny James thing.
Oh, I disagree. I have heard.
No, people are saying, I'm looking forward to seeing this father and son moment. Totally different takes than you and I had on this, and I assume
No, that's
Brownie,
what I'm saying. I mean,
Yeah.
I think I'd be interested to see what Stephen A. Smith says about this, but the majority of national people, like this Kevin Pelton, who's an NBA writer for ESPN, he graded all 30 teams on their draft.
love his bikes. I'm starting to ride them every morning.
He gave only 6 teams had a higher grade than the B plus the Lakers got. And the funny thing is he goes into it talking about Dalton Connect. He was like, I wasn't high. I had him outside my top 30, but he's going to give the Lakers a B plus?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
That
Like,
is weird.
like
Yeah.
give him a B plus because Dalton Connect
So
falls.
they drafted him at 19, right? But he was outside my
17.
top 30, 17.
Yeah.
The guy at the Athletics said the Lakers got a bargain here that they had Bronny projected 52nd best player in the draft, and they got him at 55. So it was a,
Yeah.
That's
it
a
was
steal.
a little bit,
Well,
of,
you know,
little
now-
bit of value.
Now the rumor, Bob Myers, from the Warriors, goes around and does the tour yesterday at ESPN, and he came out and said that Rich Paul, the agent for both LeBron and now for Bronny, called every other team and said, if you draft Bronny James, he's going to Australia. Let him go. Like,
Yeah.
we weren't going to draft him anyway.
Not a problem.
Like, there was no
Rich.
way anybody else was going to draft him. That's another joke about this whole thing. People can call me hater all they want. The only thing I would ask, and I said this the other day, and I said it last night with Dunaway, is what you always say about like Mike Dubose getting the Alabama job.
That's right.
If his name is not Bronny James, there is zero chance the Lakers draft him.
And if even if his name is still Bronny James, if LeBron wasn't playing for the Lakers, there's no chance the Lakers draft
no.
him.
Now Jeff Goodman,
No chance.
who covers college basketball, says the only reason he's upset is that a lot of us with hot takes has not watched Bronny James play enough basketball to have hot takes.
I would agree with that.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
But I did see
About myself.
I did see him play at Auburn this past year. I didn't think he was very good there. Did somebody pull up a box score?
I got you.
Did he have 8?
I literally watched Bronny probably 10 to 15 times this year. And I said this last night, like he could go to Venice Beach right now and he'd be really good in a pickup game.
Yeah.
Like I think he could have been a really good 3rd or 4th year player in college basketball. But to think that he could be on a roster this year in the NBA, to think that what he has done is worthy of being drafted in the NBA is credible. To me, if he's like a 6'10", 6'11 guy that has the ability to shoot it, he's athletic, then look, there's a high ceiling on a guy like this. This is a 6'2 guy that's not going to grow anymore. And more than likely, he's going to have to play the 2.
He played 14 minutes in Neville Arena, Jim.
Now remember,
and-
he was just coming off a near-death experience. If I'm
That
correct.
is true.
And by the way, that's another fact. Do you think if anybody else, because of the medical condition, having a heart condition,
No.
even if he's medically cleared, teams are going to stay away from
There's
that?
no doubt about it. I mean, it's just like a quarterback with 2 ACLs or, something like that. 14 minutes, 1 of 4 from the field, 3 of 4 from the stripe. So he's a good free throw shooter. It's important. 5 points.
5 points.
He pulled
I had
down
him at
a-
8.
That's his average. I mean, he's a 5-point guy.
He pulled down a couple boards at 6'2". That's hustle.
Ball bounced right to him, I bet.
Missed shot.
Yeah.
Followed up his miss.
Did LeVar Ball average more at Washington State than Bronny did at USC? Because remember when Ball and LeBron were going back and forth a little bit?
No, it's not LeVar. What was his name? LeVar was the dad.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, LeVar was the one doing the speaking for the family.
LeVar was the guy that was talking.
So you want his numbers from Washington
And I think it was
State?
LeBron and it was a couple other players. Hey, dude, you averaged like 3 at Washington State. I don't
Yeah.
think you've got much of a voice.
Yeah. I would be more interested if they had drafted Shedeur Sanders than I would be Bronny James. I think Shedeur Sanders could give you a better run for the Lakers.
Jeff says Celtics are laughing. I mean, I ended both videos last night with saying the same thing. You just had your biggest rival, who now has the most championships in NBA history, just won a championship 10 days ago. They're not going anywhere. And now you have got the absolute circus, which is the Los Angeles Lakers.
But let's talk about, all right, so we all agree on that. But you can't think, I mean, you think the guy's going to come in and get minutes?
No.
Okay,
no.
I mean, so.
I don't, but I think he's going to get a roster spot. I heard somebody this morning saying he'll start in the G League.
I don't maintain he'll never play in the G League.
I don't think he will play in the G League. Now, I think he should play in the G League. But the same guy said that Dalton Knecht's going to play in the G League. I don't think Dalton Knecht. I think Dalton Knecht is going to have an incredible summer. I think Dalton Knecht is almost NBA ready right now. I think he can get quality minutes. He can stretch defenses.
Yeah,
he's
I agree.
so athletic. You know, he's a guy that can do a lot of different things. He is a legit 6'6", too. That's what you want.
Yeah, I would do this. I can't wait until, if he is in the G League and he comes and plays the Birmingham Squadron, I would assume the national media would continue their conversation, and that the Bronny effect, we would pack a Legacy Arena to see Bronny James.
Oh, yeah.
I'm joking.
Yeah. No, I do think that the tickets would sell. You don't?
You think people
I
would go to
really
watch
think
Bronny?
people. Well, it depends. Like if this is early season and we've had like this Bronny watch, if you've got a Pedro Gomez type that is
Bronny had 7 last night.
If they put him on the Bronny beat, then if it built a little, because I remember a buzz around Neville. Do you not? When USC was coming in, those were pretty tough.
Oh, yeah, no, it was a tough ticket, and there were a lot of NBA scouts there. That was the big thing.
It was, but the national media acted like they were here to see Bronny James. I remember the tweets and people reporting that, and we were like, "Are you guys kidding?" They sell out every game here at Auburn Arena. It's not the Bronny effect. The game was going to be sold out regardless.
Now, the NBA scouts was
different
that
because
was
he
a
was
little bit
coming back.
different.
It was
Right.
the first chance to see him. Really relative minutes post heart attack or whatever he had.
Skylar Mays is on your roster from LSU. You remember Skylar Mays, right?
Skylar Mays.
Yep.
He averaged 11 minutes. I'm looking for somebody like low down your roster. I don't know your roster very well. Maxwell Lewis, did he play any this year out of Pepperdine? He averaged 2 minutes a game. No, 3 minutes a game in 34 games. Averaged 3 minutes a game, 0.3 points a game.
I could see him get those kind of minutes.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, this Maxwell Lewis, if I told you, Lance, hey, Maxwell Lewis is losing his roster spot for your Lakers, you're not going to sweat that.
No, my whole thing is it seems like the Lakers are more concerned on what LeBron wants than getting better and winning championship. Like J.J. Redick said this, he might end up being the next Steve Kerr.
Yeah.
But he's an unproven, he's never coached before. So you've got your podcast partner, and now you've got your son, and that's all they're talking about. Like, the Lakers should be finding ways to go from 47 wins to 55 wins and getting a 3 or 4 seed and being able to advance in the postseason in the West.
I guess I'm kind of like Lance on this, Jim, is that if the Charlotte Hornets did this, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
If LeBron came to play for Charlotte and they drafted Bronny, I'd be like, that's probably a pretty smart move by them. That'll sell them some tickets.
Yeah.
You're the Charlotte Hornets. What's it matter?
If it was the Hawks.
If it's the Hawks,
if it was anybody else.
Yeah,
it'd
this
be
is
a
the,
sideshow.
this is the L.A. Lakers.
Yeah.
That's what blows me away about it. It's one of the proudest franchises in all of professional sports.
Yep.
This is the franchise of Jerry West and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Magic
you
Johnson
guys
and Kobe
remember,
Bryant.
Yeah, how big the egos were between Shaq and Kobe, and they were able to shelf that, and they were able to win championships because they were so great. But can you imagine if Kobe was in his prime with LeBron on this team and this move went down? It wouldn't have gone down.
No, it would not have gone down. And I also can
I think
imagine
LeBron would have been out a couple years
Kobe
ago.
and LeBron on the same team would have been something.
Yeah, but you're right. It's the Lakers. It's a
That's what blows me
very
away.
Clipper-esque move.
Exactly. I mean, this would be like, the Yankees drafting Derek Jeter's son as a you're the freaking Yankees. Giving him a roster spot.
Yeah.
You draft a ton of guys in Major League Baseball, but they give him a roster spot.
And look, and I know a lot of second-round guys, they're not guaranteed contracts. They don't stick. But everybody's like, it's only a second round. It's only a second round. You only get 2 of these, though.
Yeah.
You brought up Mike Piazza, and, Tommy Lasorda was his godfather, and he drafted him. And I think it was the 68th round.
It was very deep, yeah.
But, that was kind of just, we're going to throw you a bone. There is 0 chance this guy ever plays. And he ended up making it. And maybe Bronny James will grow 4 or 5 inches, and he becomes incredible.
And that video lives forever you did last night.
I don't care.
DJ Burns goes undrafted, the Cinderella NC State big guy who's lost a lot of weight. I mean, to your point, that guy went undrafted. He's a guy you could take a project on, and maybe he takes up some space, develops his footwork inside, and can get some meaningful minutes down in a post. He's undrafted, free agent with the Cavaliers. I want to talk about one guy that dropped real quick, and then we'll tell you about Hydro Live as you get ready for another weekend. Kyle Filipowski of Duke, right?
That is correct.
He gets drafted by Utah, but he did not go in the first round like some thought. He dropped into the second round. And according to
His fake injury didn't help him.
well, it did not, but I was blown away. I didn't know anything about this story.
Nor did I. Little T tipped us off on this.
And apparently, he dropped because of his dating situation and rift with his family, where everyone last night who was covering the draft were using the word he was groomed to become Mormon, to become a Mormon
Well, I don't
by
know if
his
you know
girlfriend.
This. My daughter, one of her best friends, she's on a mission right now for the next 2 years. But she lived in Birmingham. She's Mormon. You don't necessarily have to live in Salt Lake.
No, you don't. But
you don't. We got pictures.
Okay.
Apparently, according
I'm
to
going to need to see these.
according to report, this is prom pictures of Filipowski and his girlfriend. I don't know her name. I should have written her name down, but this is the young lady off of her Instagram account. Now,
Whoa,
typical
Kyle, slow it down, son. Picture number 2.
His son hadn't set yet.
soaking literally in the sun. I'm telling you that. I'm telling you. These are normal prom pictures until you find out that Filipowski's a senior in high school. It's his senior prom. He's 18.
Look at those crazy ass eyes.
Don't miss the headline here. She, in this headline, in this prom picture, he's 18, a senior. It's his prom. She is 24.
She could have been like one of those 90210 cast members that were in their mid-20s and they played high schoolers.
Yeah. So she
doesn't necessarily look 24. I mean, I buy it.
Yeah, but she's going to a prom at 24. That's when, even if you're dating an 18-year-old, you're like, take another girl to the prom. I'll trust that you
No, if you
handle it. I'm 24. I'm not going to a
this
prom.
around, the dude would be arrested.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
keep
he's
going.
20 now.
She's
26.
24.
Yeah,
All right, she's 24 in these. Okay, gotcha.
18 and 24 in these. 20 and 26. But according to the people who were covering the draft, I'm watching this. I get into this wormhole last night. Apparently, family rift and his personal life made him a risk. Meanwhile, Bronny James not a risk.
Wait,
Yeah,
so
he's not being groomed.
Heart problem, not a problem.
You got to ask me, well, how did the family situation make him a risk? By the way, they love PDA. But
Who? The him and her and him?
Filipowski and
Yeah,
whoever the 24-year-old is.
Yeah.
But how would family drama? I mean, Filipowski was,
Okay, Ken, is there anyone that has access to a microphone that it can explain what they mean by being groomed?
Probably Tyler.
I think
Yeah,
it's,
Tyler would be my
unless
guess
he's on
this
the
one.
clock on
Can
trivia.
can I just can I just get Tyler's explanation whether it's right or wrong? I want to hear it. Tyler, he's being groomed by his girlfriend. What do we mean by that?
So usually grooming means that an older person is trying to influence a younger person to date them when they're older and usually separate them from their family and have a lot of control over them.
Okay, that was a great explanation. Thank you,
you
Tyler.
sound to me like you're setting up a Netflix documentary at some point.
Challenge.
Anybody ever groomed you, Tyler?
No.
Are you open to it?
Please.
So are we guessing
If
that
she looks like that, you're in, right,
Yeah,
Tyler?
you'd get groomed by her.
Oh, if it's her, I don't mind.
Hey, no joke. I'm getting Rockstar to pull up her Instagram. And what was the first picture you pulled up, Rockstar? I think it was her, the black and whites at the top.
Dunaway, you following her yet?
But look, this is the picture that popped up first. And Tyler in the back's working on 1,000 things I have him doing for me as he fills in for Forrester. And he's like, whoa, what's her name?
Yeah.
Who's that on my screen?
She's
He
a
said.
groomer, according to the reports.
So is Filipowski was, 5-star guy when he signed with Duke, obviously. Is the theory that she knew that he was going to make NBA money?
Are they
Or is she
engaged?
grooming him for a church, for some kind of cult?
I think that was the report, right? That she's grooming him.
Well, since 4 months since the happiest yes I'll ever say.
So they're engaged?
She's got a ring on.
I mean, her clock's ticking, Rockstar.
That's
She's
what
an
I'm
old
saying,
lady.
I thought it was
She's
just a
middle-aged.
girlfriend. Now it's
No,
fiance.
she's apparently fiance.
She's middle-aged.
So if you're
I would have a big problem with my kid coming out of high school and getting engaged.
Taylor, come here.
So where was he supposed to be drafted?
I thought he was the first round.
Late first.
Late
round.
first. How far did he fall?
Early second.
Oh, so he didn't fall that far.
Taylor, you're 24, right?
Yes.
If you would you go to a high school prom?
No.
Thank you for your contribution.
Wow. I probably could have guessed the answer
Yeah,
without
right.
Taylor being in
Made
here.
This
her
girl was
work for
Taylor's
that.
age.
Yeah.
Taylor's age.
Well, we've pulled one person. It's unanimous.
So that makes us MSNBC.
Yes. I'm with Lance. Well, first of all, he didn't fall that much, but so you're concerned if you're an NBA franchise is he's joining a cult family or something
Yeah,
like that?
I don't know.
How many NBA guys, have family issues?
Yeah. Or is your concern that she's going to be driving him too hard to try to make the money? What's the deal?
I don't know. Hats off to him. When I was 18.
Well, they
You
went
know,
to
I would
Disney.
even almost say this. You know, for some of the, like, I can't imagine if I was under an NBA contract at 18 or 19, traveling across the country, staying in five-star hotels with the resources and the accessibility these guys have got. I would almost, if I'm a general manager and coach, I'd rather my guy be kind of settled down.
Right.
And like, I would love if she's traveling around with him. He's not going out. He's not going to be partying. He's going to be sitting in the hotel room watching movies.
I'm kind of with you. He's met Chewbacca.
He's taller than Chewbacca.
He really is. He's a big guy.
7'1".
Rockstar, he's a
one
big
of the
guy.
few. 1%.
Chewbacca would have been a summer league sign-on free agent. Absolutely.
No, I'm with you, Lance. Like, you would think maybe that he's
more stable.
he's more stable, and she's on the road with him, cracking the whip, grooming him.
Early on, John Morant's was his own enemy, right?
Oh yeah, well, it still kind of is. But if I'm Filipowski's family, the only thing I would worry about is like she's digging in the pocket.
Okay,
that's
let me
the
ask you
only
this.
thing that's the only reason she's around.
You want to do a commercial?
Would love to.
Okay, do a
Hydro
commercial.
Live. Tell us about Hydro Live.
Yeah, hey, look, the weekend is here. Love me some Fridays, and a lot of people are going to be out there playing golf. Whether it's today, tomorrow, Sunday, you need to make sure you're fully hydrated. Our friends at Hydro Life Therapy, they can help out. IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, compression therapy, all under one roof. Not only the hydration, but increased energy, reduce stress and anxiety, boost that immune system, and much more. Ask about the memberships. You basically recoup that IV membership in just one visit with a free IV bag per month. Hydro Life Therapy, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., open daily. 2 locations in Birmingham, the original in Homewood, now Greystone Highway 119, also a Tuscaloosa location. Very important. Mention the next round. When you're in any of those locations, you're going to get 20% off all the incredible services from our friends at HydroLife. For more information, hydrolifetherapy.com.
All right, in the mybookie.ag chat room, JF says the reports further say that he was asked about it by a lot of NBA teams and lied about it. Now, that is a little bit of more of a red flag to me.
So
that
what
he
was,
lied
I mean,
about
do
it.
you, like,
Lied about his girlfriend?
Lied about the situation, apparently.
but what is the situation?
Well, that
He's dating
she's
somebody
grooming
older?
him. Well, you're being groomed. I don't know how you pop that question.
Like I would love to know what the question and the answer was.
Like, so on this pick and roll, real quick, before we talk about the pick and roll, are you being groomed by your girlfriend's family?
Could it be just a huge misunderstanding and she cuts hair for a living?
She's a pet groomer.
Yeah,
It's good, Jeff.
Like, I mean,
Well, all right.
I really don't know what the complication would be outside of her draining his bank account,
Well,
or if she's going to lead him to a cult.
But if she drains his bank account, well, the concern
He's gonna
would be
play harder.
He's going to play harder. He's going to make more money. But the concern would be leading to a cult and then giving up basketball. But I don't know. It seems like that's a low probability here. It seems
You
like
think if they had a backyard out in the goal out in the back of the Colt, you think he'd dominate?
it's the cult league.
Taking the pictures down on her Instagram, noted like all this going on. Would you not privatize your Instagram now?
Unless you want the attention.
Every comment, like some pictures are from like 52 weeks ago, and they say like you're grooming, you're putting him into a cult.
Wasn't it
from
Zach
yesterday.
Wilson was banging his teammate's mom? Is that right?
Something like that.
I
Yeah, I
mean,
can't
he
remember
went
the whole
number
story.
3, and he sucks.
Allegedly, yeah.
So, I mean, that didn't affect him.
Well, let me ask you this, though. Matt Stafford retires. Next draft, the top quarterback. Everybody agrees he's the top quarterback. And they're like, really the only concern any franchises have about this guy is he's apparently in a relationship where he's being groomed to join a religion. What would you say? Everybody agrees he's the top quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, does that mean can he be in that cult religion and still balance football?
That's what we don't know. That's what we do not know.
How good is he?
Everybody agrees he's the best quarterback. Guy can spin it.
Let's take it.
So you're going to roll the dice on that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You wouldn't?
I don't know. I don't know. Like, I would want to know who the... Now, look, this
I
was
would
at the top
assume that if he's that good with the billions of dollars that are at stake in the NFL, you probably could pay off said cult leader.
Yeah.
I mean, most
Probably.
people...
It's usually the way cults work.
Yeah, I mean, they've got an agenda,
Yeah,
but a
man.
lot of times it's like,
Brother Filipowski is going to be off the commune this week.
Brother.
yeah.
He's got a road game.
Yeah, they basically just ghost Brother Filipowski because they've been paid enough
Take his
money.
hood off.
You pay the girlfriend, you pay the cult leader, you're done.
Win a championship. It's on our big board. What's the Kool-Aid color going to be this week?
I haven't spent enough time in Colts to know, how all this goes down and how all this works.
that
And-
pop-
From your
man,
small experience in Colts, what have you got?
Well, I've never really been involved in any cult.
It is a genre of videos on Netflix, right? You watch one of them, that 7M thing that little T got me to watch.
What was 7M?
It's the Instagram
Oh,
cult.
yeah.
The dancers.
That one girl, that old girl that was, she like ghosted her family, right?
Oh, yeah. So now
how'd she dance?
Her partner danced like this.
Oh, yeah.
They did a lot of that kind of dancing. Not my kind of stuff. I'm more of a, what's it called? The country dance. The 3-step, 2-step, 2-step.
Yeah.
I'm the old 3-step.
I do it the old school way.
Yeah, I do it old school.
Always
3-step.
extra for me.
Interesting. I don't know.
I don't know the answer to all this. Like I think
people are just bothered by.
Well, I think they're bothered.
She's older.
No, I don't think that's it. I think if they said Kyle Filipowski's dating a girl 6 years his elder, I don't think anybody bats an eye at that. I think it's when the word groomed gets put in there. Because that's a pretty new word, right? I mean, that's pretty new to our vocabulary.
Yeah, I mean, for the meaning of
that. I mean, pet grooming has been around a long time, but it's pretty new that we talk about somebody's grooming a younger person.
Usually it's old men, little girls.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's like the pedophiles. And I've gotten sucked, Rockstar, dadgummit, I've gotten sucked into the Chris Henson algorithm on my TikTok.
He's also, because he's got a YouTube channel now. Like, I think his whole show's on YouTube.
No. And I get it on my TikTok, and he gets all these guys caught, and every one of them was like, I just came here to tell her the mistake she was making in her life. I wasn't going to do anything.
6 hours?
Lunceford's right. Grooming used to be a good thing. Like at work, you're being groomed for a promotion.
We've completely flipped it around, and now you throw it out there, and you don't get drafted in the NBA.
Yeah. Well, he did.
Well, not in the first round. He doesn't get that guaranteed groomed contract, Lance.
That's true.
He's getting groomed in the second round now.
She did not like that.
Hats off to John Shire. Because the way everyone reacts to Texas A&M, Shire being able to recruit Filipowski to Duke instead of him going to another cult was an amazing recruitment thing there at Duke. All right, that's the NBA draft day 2. You have to find your storylines in day 2. Bronny James, Filipowski's Instagram girlfriend, and a lot more.
Those are better storylines in the first round, though.
I agree. I was far more interested in Bronny going to the Lakers and somebody being groomed than I was in what happened in the first round.
Australian and Alex Sarr.
I didn't even watch the first round.
I know the French ruined the first round. There were so many Frenchmen.
That's
what
crazy.
Was it, 4 or 5?
That's crazy. How good are they in Olympic basketball?
They're not bad. We'll see when Wemby's playing there.
Yeah, Wembanyama kind of opened the door for these guys.
They ought to be really good with Wemby and these guys that just got drafted. They ought to be a factor in pair. Are they? I mean,
Tony Parker was good.
They're the home team.
Did Colorado win the national championship in basketball this year?
Basketball? No, that was not
two first rounders in the second round. They had 3 guys drafted.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about that. We previewed Colorado. We talked about them coming into this tournament. I think they won a game or 2 though.
In this NCAA tournament?
Yeah.
I didn't know they were in it.
Yeah, because everybody said they've got 3 NBA guys on it.
Yeah. So Colorado. Hey, and how about John Calipari? Shepherd and Dillingham go, what was it, 3 and 8? 2 Kentucky players. Combined 6 starts last year.
Hey, no,
what the hell was he doing?
No, I get that. And I had somebody tell me, you're dogging out Bronny because he didn't start for USC. Well, Reed Shepherd didn't start. Reed Shepherd, though, was the best player on the team and maybe the best 6th man in all of college basketball.
Yeah. What was Calipari doing, though, with him and Dillingham? 2 top 8 picks.
They got tons of minutes, though.
Yeah. Combined 6 starts, though.
If you'll remember, Colorado had to play through Dayton with 3 NBA draft picks just to get in the tournament. They beat Boise 60-53. Then they beat Florida in that classic. Remember 102-100? That was a great game.
Wasn't that going on it was going on at the exact same time as Auburn and Yale.
I think so. It was a Friday game. And then lost to Marquette.
Jace, that's all right. That's one of my favorite Garth Brooks songs. Garth Brooks wrote a song about a young man groomed by an older woman.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
That summer.
Did he end up going into a cult and disappearing?
He did not, but he made the wheat fields.
The wheat fields. Every time Garth drove by there, and he knows it wasn't really happening, but he could see that spirit again.
Yeah, every time.
Just waving in those wheat fields, man. She had those hands of leather.
Yeah.
But you know what they did? They turned to velvet in a touch.
It had been a long time since they'd been touched.
That's right.
Jace, that's a good pull on that Garth Brooks song. New York Butcher's a great pull coming up this holiday weekend. Not this weekend, but next weekend. It's, of course, Independence Weekend, July 4th weekend for those of us here in the United States of America. New York Butcher has a special deal ready to go.
Yeah, well, they've got homemade brats. They've got homemade hot dogs, the hand-pattied burgers, any of that stuff, of course, for your big barbecue this July 4th. But the Boston Butt Sale, this is one you need to write down. $42.99, fully cooked, Hickory smoked, reservations only, available for pickup July 2nd, 3rd, and even July 4th up until 3 o'clock. 2 locations of the New York Butcher Shop. Get in, see Jim and the guys. You can call the Inverness location, Highway 119, the Cahaba location, which is the original location, but pre-order the Boston Butt Sale. You're going to love it for the 4th of July. Only $42.99. Fully cooked, hickory smoked, reservations only. Rare quality, well-done service. The New York Butcher Shop.
Okay, so there are 16 teams that are groomed to be national champions.
Wow, we're just going to do the whole show.
According to 24/7, it is a math problem that has worked every year since 2011. That's a pretty good sampling size, right?
It is.
Yeah.
So the champion comes from 16-team group.
Since 2011, it has been from this group.
I'm going to say we can narrow it down more than 16.
I would think so.
I think you can too.
Okay.
But we're going to do 16 of them, Brown, because I've saved this for 2 days.
Yeah, I
You
know,
have
but
not let me get to this topic.
I get to throw them out, though.
When we come back, 16 teams groomed for a national championship right here on TNR. Don't forget Roback, our great friends. Use the promo code TNR, roback.com, roback.com. I've got their hat on today. Great gear, comfortable. Everybody up here gets some Roback gear every now and then. You can too. TNR20 at checkout, roback.com. And our friends at Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Our friends at Bud Light bringing you the next round.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at ryanbrownlive.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Every day, someone is ridiculed and mocked for the clothing they chose to wear. It's a harsh reality we all must face. But you have the chance to change all of that with one visit to nextround.store. For just a few minutes of browsing, you will observe so many clothing options, from hats to hoodies to t-shirts. Please, for yourself or someone you love, go to nextround.store and embrace the warmth of true attire.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com. Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the next round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the next round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast, The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Over in the chat room, mybookie.ag, Romulus to the top of the chat with a donation there saying in his eyes, Christianity just as big of a cult as Mormonism there. And we appreciate you jumping in, Romulus.
Yeah, by every definition, Christianity, I can't deny that it's a cult. I mean, by the definition of a cult, absolutely.
Yeah, I think a cult has a negative connotation typically.
Yeah, but the definition itself is just a group of people that have similar.
But when you think
beliefs.
cult, you think Jim Jones, you think David Koresh. I mean, those the names that come
By-
up.
She
by-
sells sanctuary.
Yeah, by definition,
Great
Christianity is one of the largest cults in the world. There's no doubt.
Some of them have ruined it for everybody. Some bad cult leaders
That's right.
have given cult a bad name.
Who were the dudes that all dressed like in purple and wore like Nikes and
That was
waiting
like
on-
Heaven's Gate.
Yeah, they're waiting on that comet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They thought that comet was going to carry them to heaven.
His name was Marshall
Apple
Applewhite.
Didn't he have ties to Alabama? I think he went to the University of Alabama, didn't he?
Brown.
Yeah, roll down.
Yeah.
No, Marshall Applegate, I believe was his name.
Applegate.
Yeah, and I think
That wasn't the last thing he yelled, was it?
Roll Tide. I don't give a piss.
See you boys on the comet.
I don't give a piss about nothing but this comet.
Heaven's Gate, everyone is saying in the chat room there. Everyone else said we groomed them to buy our merch at nextround.store.
I mean,
nextround.store.
that's positive grooming. Yeah, he taught at the University of Alabama. That old Applewhite cat, or Applegate, or
And
Apple.
what did he teach?
Applewhite. That's a good question, Lance.
Show being brought to you today by our friends at johnsonrvcenter.com. Brownie.
He taught at the University of Alabama, but it doesn't say professional
hopefully
singing
not
career.
philosophy.
Yeah, maybe it was
Music?
Music, I don't know.
Yep.
I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur. That is where you go to find Johnson RV Center. They are so confident in their pricing on those two lots that they have given you a price guarantee. Anywhere in the country, a price guarantee at Johnson RV Center. They'll beat the lowest price, and they give you that guarantee. Just bring them a price on a comparable RV. Also, RV Warranty Forever gives you that great lifetime warranty on every single thing, both new and qualifying. Used, a lifetime warranty. I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur. Always online, johnstonrvcenter.com.
Jace says, I went by the Branch Davidian compound in Waco before the Baylor-Bama basketball game. They seem like nice people. I will tell you, the fine folks at at Columbia House seemed like nice people when they gave me 13 CDs for 1 penny back in the day too. But when you start having to buy those next CDs,
that was a scam that I would always fill it out. I never sent it in, so I never got on that bus. With a lot of people did and got burned on that.
Yeah.
So part of that Filipowski, I didn't read the whole story, and I know Little T sent it to us yesterday.
Oh, did she really?
Well, I think she did.
Yeah,
right?
she texted us Filipowski. That's how I found out about it.
Did you guys hear any side story that she was actually Filipowski's babysitter growing up? Because I just got that, and they said it was legitimate.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You started doing the math.
Yeah, get in early.
6 years older.
But that does, I mean, I think that
18
makes it
and 12 at that point.
That makes it a little worse, doesn't
No,
it?
it definitely does.
yeah.
Again, you swap genders here, and we probably got a criminal investigation.
Yeah. If James says, we appreciate your donation. On a serious note, before we jump into football, Lance, if you were doing an odds at lanceslock.com on Trump versus Biden in an actual golf match,
it'd be heavy. I would say Trump would be like minus 500.
True or not? Who plays more golf during the week right now, Trump or me?
Oh, you.
I get out only about twice a week this year.
I bet Trump's about twice a week.
Yeah.
I've been working a little bit more this year.
Yeah. I mean, he's two-time club champion, he said. Last 2 club championships he won.
I mean, what does Biden claim his handicap
Well, he
is?
said 6 and 8, which
It
I
was
will
a 6
imagine
in the
it's
first sentence and then an 8 in the second
I imagine
sentence.
it's 6 if you're bragging, 8 if you're in a scramble.
I would imagine he's nowhere close
There
to a
is
6
no
or an 8.
way.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I would imagine he hits more balls off the first tee than you do.
Could he walk around? Seriously.
Well, when they give us carts, I don't walk very well either.
Yeah. I'm not going to ding him for that. I kind of like
Yeah, but
riding
you're
too.
not our commander-in-chief.
Yeah. I would imagine, though, that he would have one of those little flags that would allow him to drive right up next to the green.
You know what my kid said last night? They went into the whole, you got to be 35, which we learned, in social studies back in like third or fourth
You know
grade.
what? That rule really doesn't matter.
No,
we don't ever run anybody
But
that's
their
only 35.
point was, they were like, I don't think anybody should be over the age of 50.
Yeah,
I was like...
I don't know if we need to tie it in that tight.
No, 50 is a little low, but I do think we need an age limit.
No,
I
I
agree.
think 60, 65 is probably that age limit. You
don't-
get in your 70s and you're calling the shots.
Yeah. I think we need an age limit.
Man, I want to be on a beach when I'm in my 70s.
In college football, 24/7 has this little Bud Elliott's his name. He's done this since 2011. he's put together this list of blue chip ratio. Now, he does not factor in transfer portal yet. And for the first time ever, he's done a separate ranking that changes it a little bit. But by the system that he has used since 2011, and don't put the graphic up yet, Tyler. Let me roll through some information backstory here. He started in 2011, and this is the 3 previous recruiting classes and teams that have over 50% 4- and 5-star athletes on their roster.
Okay.
Your roster is made up more than 50% of nothing but 4- and 5-star athletes, according to 24/7. Alabama, national champion in 2011, 71% of their roster were 4 and 5.
Okay.
Alabama in 2012, national champs, 71%. 2013, scary number, Florida State, 53%. Barely over.
They had a generational quarterback. I mean, that can wipe away a lot of those numbers.
Ohio State, 63% in 2014 as we get into the college football playoff era. Every team in the playoffs fit the criteria, though. 2015, Alabama, 77%. Every team in the playoff fit the criteria. Clemson in 2016, only 52%. Generational quarterback. Everybody in the playoff fit the criteria. 2017, Alabama, 80% of the roster.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, hold on. 80% of the roster for Alabama.
We're 4 and 5 stars.
Everybody in the playoff met the criteria.
Right.
Clemson in 2018, 68%. LSU in 2019, 64%. 2020, Alabama, 83%. 2021, 80% for Georgia, 88% for Alabama. They lost the game to Georgia, but 88% for Alabama. Cincinnati in there did not meet the criteria.
Yeah, I was going to say that's got to be one that didn't.
Yeah.
Do you even have their number?
I did not.
Yeah.
Georgia, 77%. Michigan last year, 54%. So they met the criteria. So every national champion, over 50% of their roster, 4 or 5 stars, according to 24/7. 16 teams, not counting transfers, meet that criteria this year. Here's the list from 24/7. No surprise at the top, Ohio State.
Yep.
90% of their roster,
Yep.
if they win the national championship, would be the most talented roster to do it so far. Alabama sliding in still at 88%.
It's a remarkable number.
Georgia at 80%. Now we get a little surprise, I think. Texas A&M at 79%. Does that surprise anybody?
Not at all.
Maybe a bit high, Jim, but I mean, that's all Jimbo did well was recruit, right?
Yep.
I mean, Jimbo at least recruited some.
Oregon at 76%. Surprising to some, I think, because of the way you guys have been talking about Oklahoma. 73% for Oklahoma. Texas at 72%. LT continues to tell us how good of a program LSU is. 70%. I think surprising to some that Notre Dame is at 67%. Clemson is 64%. Here's my biggest surprise in the top 11.
Good?
Florida at 63%. I didn't know Florida's roster was still this good.
Yeah.
Miami at 61%. Penn State 61%. USC 59%. Michigan still at 56%. And there's the Auburn Tigers at 53% of their roster.
Yeah, I didn't break. I did my 16 that I thought would be here. I got 13 of the 16, and the 3 I didn't get were Florida, Miami, and Auburn. I thought about Florida and Miami. I did not think about Auburn just in Hugh Freeze's second year.
I didn't either.
Well,
so I think this shows you that really, and I don't know how you guys feel, you got a veteran quarterback, you've got a coach with a really good track record. There's really no excuses for Auburn this year.
I will just say, I got a lot of observations on this, if I might.
By the way, I had Tennessee, Ole Miss, and Florida State as the other
did not
3.
appear?
Yeah.
Okay. Before your observation, can I give you 2 more facts?
Sure.
Factor in transfers. Auburn's out. Florida State's in.
So you mean so some of these 4 and 5 stars have transferred out, so that drops Auburn
Or
out.
you brought in some
transferred
talent.
in.
Yeah, like Florida State's brought in a lot of transfer talent.
Okay, but Auburn drops out, Florida State comes in. Okay.
That's right. Either way, which team was not in there? Was there one you had in there that wasn't in there? Which was the biggest team that we've been talking about all summer?
Oh, it's Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
Howdy,
The
Dottie.
portal,
Yeah,
the
I had Ole
portal
Miss as one of
teams,
my 16.
They don't even, when you factor in the portal, they don't make it in there.
That's a bit surprising.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I would have thought between recruiting and portal, they'd be in there.
I think it's a little surprising that Tennessee and Florida State aren't in there. Now, you said Florida State with the portal would be in there.
That's right.
But, I think Heupel going into year 4, he's built some talent. Or you went into this year 4.
Yeah. So just a couple observations there.
Let me have them.
Tyler, do you mind popping it back up there real quick? Number one, I'll start at the bottom. Auburn at 53%. The fact that they are there is pretty remarkable when you consider that Gus Malzahn was mailing it in on recruiting at the end of his time there.
Harsin just couldn't recruit.
Harsin didn't recruit.
So last 3 recruiting classes is all that he takes into consideration. So 2 Harsins and 1 Freeze.
And 1 Freeze. I mean, that's pretty remarkable. They're actually at 53%.
Yeah, and this is one of the reasons that I think Auburn could make a run at 10 wins this year.
The fact, and I feel like we have jumped on this a lot lately, and they had another decommit last night that I think was a pretty big player. The fact, Lance, that your Trojans are only at 59% remains remarkable to me.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it seems like Lincoln Riley only goes after 5-star guys. Now, he loses half of those guys.
Yep. And one other local observation, but this is national observation too. There is another team, and they played for the national championship, that is not on this list, and that is Washington.
Yep.
I did not even consider
Washington. Did not either, but my point was going to be you have now taken that guy that was good enough to coach a team to a championship game, and you've given him a team now that was at what, 88%?
I've always said that. With Kalen DeBoer, this is a guy that just played for the national championship. Now he takes over a much more talented roster.
Yeah, I mean, this is a guy that coached to the national championship game, did not meet that criteria, I'm guessing.
Oh, I don't have last year's in front of me.
But I guess he probably didn't.
I wouldn't think so.
If so, he was borderline because he's fallen out now, so he was in the transfer spot. And now you've given him 88%. Of 4 and 5 stars on the roster he currently has. Now, does that translate into him winning a national championship? Absolutely, it does not. But his track record, and nobody's surprised by this, is by far and away the best toolbox he's ever had.
And today could get bigger at 1:30 Central Time. 5-star defensive back Dijon Lee is going to decide between Alabama, Georgia, Texas A&M, and maybe Texas. I don't know who the other team is. I can't read my writing. But Alabama, Georgia is in the mix here. 1:30 today, 5-star Dijon Lee. What makes this interesting is that he has come to Tuscaloosa, including his last official visit. But the first school that offered him was Washington, the DeBoer staff, and Courtney Morgan at Washington. It was his first offer that he got because he's a West Coast guy. And he made 2 visits to Washington when this staff was already in Seattle. So he has followed this coaching staff from Washington to Alabama. So at 1:30 today, 5-star Dijon Lee expecting to be picked Alabama, but you never know in these announcements what could happen.
Yeah, speaking of Washington and the mybookie.ag chat over there, Markwell, do y'all think Bama's roster is better than Washington's last year? The answer is absolutely not. Yes, it is.
Not even close.
Not even close.
Well, now, is Penix a better quarterback than Milroe? Yes, but
Dunze, I mean, I don't know. He's probably a 3-star coming out of high school. I don't know. I mean, he did a great job developing these guys.
Yeah. No, are you asking us, were there certain players? Oh, by the way, there's Dijon Lee down to 4 schools: Alabama, Georgia, Washington still in there.
Yeah, so it looks like he's ready to play.
And Texas A&M.
Got a big neck, doesn't he? He's got that Takeo Spikes neck.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Tyler, back there. I see your point that the stars didn't match up, but what those receivers grew into. Those receivers were better than anybody Alabama had.
Oh, yeah, not even close.
Yeah.
And Penix Jr., say what you want, Jalen Milroe got a lot better, but Penix Jr. was a better quarterback.
Now, Milroe could be better than him this year. I don't know. I haven't seen that. But Penix is the better quarterback right now.
I am just talking about the entire roster. There is no way that Washington, I don't want to say they're not close because they didn't play for a national championship.
I would. I mean, Jim just gave you the numbers. 4 and 5 stars. Alabama's at 88%. Washington's at least below 50.
Yeah.
I mean.
So it's interesting. By the way, when you factor in transfer portals, those coming and leaving, Alabama stayed 2, Georgia stayed 3, Ohio State stayed 1. The biggest riser was Oregon, gets them up to 4. Biggest drop was Texas A&M because they lost so much. They dropped down to 10. And Oklahoma dropped to 8. Texas moved up to 5. So a little shuffling there when you factor in the portal, but not at the top. Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia still going to the season like they did last year with the 3 best rosters. Now can they turn that into something? A little college football talk for you there. We'll play off of the roster. with a comment made by Urban Meyer when we come back on the show. And I'll ask you, do you think Urban Meyer likes Ryan Day or does not like Ryan Day? It's part of the conversation as we roll on today. Hemp Hill Services, the fine folks that'll take care of you, and they also bring you lanceslock.com.
Yeah, call the number that Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating issues. 205-229-2090. Hard to stop a train. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Whether you experience any of these issues in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at jimdunaway.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
The World Wide Web is a large place. Find all your favorite people and content in the same spot. NextRoundLive.com is full of wonderful tidbits about the show you know and love. Find our gear, listen to your favorite personalities, follow our socials, and enjoy your trip to NextRoundLive.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them The Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
For a great experience in golf, go to Bent Brook, just off I-459 in the Birmingham area. You've got 27 holes where you can play your 18 holes 6 different ways. Open 7 days a week with 5 sets of tees that makes golf enjoyable for any level golfer. You get complimentary GPS on every golf cart, and the AU Victory bent grass greens play as pure as any in the area. Bent Brook continues to improve with upgraded greens and redesigned holes. Book that next tee time right now. BentBrook.com. BentBrook.com.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Rockstar in the Floribama Lounge at the end of the show today. If you are listening to us, as a number of you do, in the great state of Tennessee, Rockstar will be by the lake in Winchester, Tennessee tonight? Tomorrow.
Leave tonight, show tomorrow.
Show tomorrow. What time is the show?
I think it's an early show. I think it's 7 or 7:30.
Yeah, Black Jacket Symphony on the road, Rockstar.
Is this Jimmy Buffett?
This is the old cherry.
So do you remember Wednesday night, Rocky or Brown, when Rocky was like, "Oh my God, another name that tune."
Yeah.
I got to save this voice, and I'm like, for Jimmy
Buffett,
you got to save the voice.
Surprisingly, there are stuff that he doesn't have like a huge vocal range, but there are some. Don't want to do any surprises, but there is one song that vocally is really challenging.
Like the masterpiece of Fins, or
Fins is a fun song to play.
Yeah, I will tell you, it's going to be a great concert. Black Jacket Symphony in Winchester, Tennessee. If you want to go see Rockstar tonight, and NASCAR's in Nashville, Tennessee this week. And we were just we were doing some SEC Media Day stuff yesterday. We didn't realize it until we were doing some stuff yesterday that Major League Baseball's All-Star Game is in Dallas the same time we are.
I have heard that, though.
Yeah, I talked about that already because I told somebody I was talking to, given the choice, I'd rather go to the Home Run Derby than the All-Star Game.
Yeah. No Shohei Ohtani. He's being advised not to
Yeah,
not
a lot
to
of those
go.
guys don't do get a hole in their swing, they say.
Yeah, I really, I mean, like if we had...
If you gave me tickets, you're like, you have Home Run Derby tickets,
If we had
All-Star Game tickets.
transportation, again, we're staying downtown Dallas. That's all the way in Arlington.
Yeah, it's good 20 minutes, best case.
Yeah. It's about a $122 Uber ride, if I remember correctly.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's steep.
The last time we
Had a
did
little
that
surge
trip,
going.
and I think that's the second time I've talked about it this week, but we took a bus from downtown to Arlington, and our bus broke down on the way back.
Ooh.
Yeah. And there was a bunch of us on the side of the road, and I had to...
Were you thumbing?
I did. I flagged us down. It was a random
I
old
know you
school
did.
limo.
Yeah.
That worked out good.
Yeah.
Just a random limo driving around.
Our friends at A Plus bringing you this part of the show. Brownie, is that you to tell us about A Plus?
Jim, I will. Absolutely. Now, they've worked on my house and Lance's house. For me, they did my master bath. Jennifer Brown, my lovely wife, knew it was time for the master bathroom, so she scoured the internet to find the right person for the job. She talked to certain contractors, people that had used certain contractors, read reviews, and she picked Brad Bell, A Plus Tile Home Remodeling. I'm super glad she did because Brad did tremendous work. So much so that Lance saw him. He's like, I need my master bath done. He did Lance's master bath and now his kitchen. That's what he specializes in: master bath, kitchen, and master bedroom closets. Those three things. It's not all he does, but it's what he specializes in. And listen, here's why that's important to you. For one thing, you spend a lot of time in those rooms when you own the home. But for another thing, when you go to sell your home, you'll make your money back as much as you can on those projects. Here's his number. Anywhere in Alabama, he can work for you. 205-422-1758. 205-422-1758. Brad Bell, A Plus Tile Home Remodeling.
All right, so this is interesting. Just before I read this comment that Urban Meyer made to Channel 10 TV in Columbus, Ohio, News at the Speed of Life, which is my go-to catchphrase.
I've noticed that. Did anybody in Birmingham use that?
No. I always loved that.
Did you try to sell it? Well, here's what we should be. News at the speed of life.
News at the speed of life.
Yeah.
It was back when the internet was just cranking up. Do you think Urban Meyer likes Ryan Day? Ryan Day worked for Urban Meyer, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Or does Urban Meyer seem like the kind of guy that doesn't want someone else to have more success than him?
Yeah,
he does seem like that guy to me.
That was the point I was going to bring up is, like, I don't know if he dislikes him, but I feel like he doesn't want him to win a national championship.
But at this point, I think he probably likes him because thus far Ryan Day has not been able to win that championship, and Urban Meyer did. Yeah. So I think he probably likes him right now.
I can't see Nick Saban saying this, but maybe he ends up saying it on game day. I don't know. But former Buckeye coach Urban Meyer talking to Adam King of 10 TV in Columbus, News at the Speed of Life, quote, as of now, this is one of the most talented rosters in the last decade, maybe ever, at Ohio State. I mean, that's a big statement. They've got to play, but just look at the quality of athlete they have at every position. Urban Meyer on the roster at Ohio State. Does that help you or hurt you if you're Ryan Day?
Well, it just hurts and hurts because if you win a national championship, well, look, you put $30 million into it. Everybody wins a national championship at Ohio State. It was long overdue. If they don't beat Michigan and at least play for the national champion, well, let me take this back. If they don't make the college football playoff, as good as his record is, he's done.
Yeah.
He will get fired this year, which is crazy.
There's no way they lose 3 games in the Big Ten.
I would agree.
Yeah.
But if I'm an Ohio State fan, anything less than a national championship, and I know that sounds crazy.
Well, no, I don't think it sounds crazy at all.
I just, I don't know. And what's weird is the better quarterback stayed in Manhattan, Kansas.
Yeah, I don't think that's crazy at all, Lance. If I'm an Ohio State fan, I absolutely believe his national championship or bust. You've got a reported $30 million tied up in this offseason in getting Chip Kelly and this roster put together. Why would I not expect a national championship?
You've got 3 losable games on this schedule. Now, I think they go undefeated. But
I do too. But since 2009, that's the expectation Nick Saban had at Alabama, right?
Yeah.
Anything less than a national championship, it was a disappointment.
But at least he won some.
Yeah, I mean, there was a reason you felt that way.
Yeah, so like, you win one, and then even when you didn't play for one, you're like, well, you know what? I've got a lot of these.
Yeah.
If I'm an Ohio State fan, it's been since 2000. It's been a decade, and we've had a lot of really good teams. And by the way, Michigan just won one.
Yeah, and they've got them and Georgia and Alabama, but at least going into this year, it seems like Ohio State has the best team on paper.
I think Ohio State's going to be really, really, really good this year.
And here we are. See. And when you bring in Caleb Downs, best freshman in the country, and you bring in Quinshon Judkins from Ole Miss, I mean, that you brought in great portal guys too. So, I mean, I just don't think Urban Meyer did him any favors.
Well, your difficult games are at Oregon, at Penn State, and Michigan. But I think offensively, the only team that can hang with these is Oregon.
Mark Well is an Ohio State fan over in the mybookie.ag chat. Ryan Day is dead to me if we don't win it all this year.
But here's the problem here's the problem Oregon's got is even if they beat them in Eugene, and this may be a problem for Ohio State too. I mean, they may have to beat Oregon twice. Oregon's probably going to have to come back and beat them in Indianapolis.
Maybe a problem for Alabama and Georgia.
Yeah, to get a top 4 seed at least. I mean, both those teams I think are squarely in the playoffs, and heck, they could play 3 times. You never know. So could Alabama and Georgia, or Georgia and Texas?
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. Just thought it was interesting because back in the day, you when you left a job, you sort of, if you wanted to take care of the coach that followed you, you did a little poor mouthing with him.
But he also works for Fox, so
he does.
I mean, he's got an obligation. Fox is signing that check every month, so he's got an obligation to at least appear to be honest.
This isn't on the Big Noon pregame show.
Yeah, but he still works for Fox. He's Fox's Urban Meyer.
Nick Saban is now an employee of ESPN.
And he's going to find some tough spots.
Fascinating to see. Let's say that Wisconsin beats Alabama and there's some questionable coaching decisions.
Oh, yeah.
How critical is he of Caleb DeBoer?
And look, game day is going to be in Tuscaloosa for Alabama, Georgia, week 5. And, I mean, that's one of his guys, Kirby Smart, against his school, Alabama.
Nick will say, I don't want to coach anybody else's team.
That's what Wimp says.
Yeah, but
I won't coach Ohio State.
Do you think, look, Nick Saban's the greatest of all time. We bring him up all the time. We're Bammers here, right?
Yes, absolutely.
But Nick Saban could have dominated that debate last night. Dominated.
Would you have held it on the podium?
I think we'd have gone 3 for 3 on this, that.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I will tell you this. Speaking of Nick Saban, Nick Kelly of the Tuscaloosa News got a document, whatever you do to get in, documents.
Freedom of information.
Nick Saban's salary that Alabama's paying him.
I saw that. Yeah, I did.
$500,000 and 4 cents.
Moving forward, right?
Is what he's making at the University of Alabama now.
That's 1 penny per quarter.
That's actually surprising that it's that low. Because I just remember when R.C. Slocum, and I forgot what the transition was. It R.C. Slocum to Mike Sherman, maybe?
Yep, I think that's right.
But when R.C. Slocum decided to retire, they gave him $1 million a year to stay at A&M.
That's nice.
That was a long time ago.
$500,000. I don't know if you factor in an assistant, sort of handle media and things for you, free office space. If that factors in, if that gets you all to $1 million.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Transport. I don't know all that's involved, but
how much mailbox money does he have coming?
That's what I'm about to say. This guy, it's
crazy.
His checks on top of checks.
Dealerships all over the place. And I guarantee you, there's a lot of different LLCs and organizations he's involved with that we don't even know about.
100%. I just thought good stuff from Nick Kelly there, Tuscaloosa News. Top of the hour. We'll move to hour 2. When we come back, Woodhouse Day Spa helps you move from work week into the relaxation of the weekend.
Yeah, look, if you want to take care of that special someone in your life, the Woodhouse Day Spa is a place you need to send them. Just fantastic options up there. They're conveniently located at the Summit Shopping Centers. Again, you can stop by the Summit Shopping Centers, go see Stuart and that incredible staff, or you can always order that special person gift online 24/7 at birmingham.woodhousespas.com. You can choose from a menu of over 70 options, including massages, body treatment, skincare, waxing, nail services. Woodhouse Day Spa, voted America's best day spa since 2009. Again, order that special person gift 24/7 online, birmingham.woodhousespas.com, or just stop and see them. Tell them the next round sent you.
Call the next round now at 205-734-0923.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Maybe you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, X, LinkedIn, or TikTok. While we're changing the game yet again, Tyler's Telegrams has been developed exclusively for you.
Hi, this is the lovable boy you know as Tyler the Intern. I'm a businessman now. I will come directly to your door and tell you every time a new piece of TNR content drops. For the low, low price of $740,000, you can be notified by me, one of the biggest stars of the next round, about that thing you missed. Sure, the rest of those social media services are free, but so is radio, and we all know how well that's trending.
Tyler's Telegrams is currently operating exclusively in Bibb County. Other social media platforms are available everywhere.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood. Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. 969-8100 or michelson.laservision.com.
Our friends at Longus Furniture believe in getting more style for less. Longus offers a great selection of furniture for your living room, bedroom, dining room, home office, and entertainment room, helping you elevate your home design and decor. Longus offers everything from vibrant outdoor furniture to breezy home accents. Everything you need to create your own sunshine sanctuary. Right now, you can save up to 10% store-wide, receive $300 in Longus sleep credits with select mattress purchases, and access special financing on tons of hot buys. Take exit 280 off the I-65 Hallmark Farms exit today to see what Longus has to offer you.
It's time to pull the trigger on the Next Round merch that you've been eyeing. We know there's a lot to choose from at nextround.store, so here's a few of our favorite picks. If you want to match LT and Brown, go with the TNR logo hoodie and throw in one of Dunaway's favorite hats. Any of them will do. The Backroom's go-to is the classic logo t-shirt, while my personal favorite is the light blue TNR crew neck. All of these items can be found at nextround.store and are EG approved. Rest assured, your order will be packed with lots of love from us here at the Next Round. Head over to nextround.store to start filling up your cart.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Back with you on the next round, hour number 2 rolling along. Before we go to Todd Fuhrman out in Vegas, Tyler filling in for Forrester today on the back row, found a little social media post from Courtney Morgan, the general manager for Alabama. What does it look like, Tyler? What is it, man?
What is that?
That looks like, is that Suge Knight?
No.
Well,
I mean, it.
Do you know what it is, Dunaway? I don't know, but he looks like hashtag cold summer.
Okay.
I mean, Courtney Morgan's got Rick Ross in him. I don't. I mean,
it looks to be a celebratory thing. I think what people are reading into it, Tyler, is what?
Okay.
Yeah. Give me Tyler's
Chris
line.
H says Birdman.
So this is Birdman, actually.
Yeah. All right.
And everyone is replying to this with bottles of Dijon mustard. I believe he's referencing Dijon committing to Alabama and is trying to just kind of let it out on the down low without actually saying it.
Yeah, so he's grooming us for a big commitment at 1:30 later today. Five-star Dijon Lee, Alabama, Georgia, Washington, and Texas A&M. All right, Todd Fuhrman joins us now. BetTheBoardPodcast.com. We're 5 minutes late. Fuhrman has started to scold us for being late. Dunaway's back, Fuhrman, so this one's on him. As I told him.
There's no doubt about it. I know exactly who I'm pointing my finger at, and I just figured during the summer months, Brownie, things get fast and loose around there, and you guys throw all the rules of decorum completely out the window.
Correct, accurate. I'll tell you what happened. I have things I need to get to in every segment, and these guys are in such great moods lately that they're just the conversation extends a little longer than I have planned.
You know, Dunaway, it's all about economy of words. It's saying more in fewer words to try and be able to cram everything that you have in that big brain of yours into a 3-hour show.
Hey, I know these guys don't want to talk about this, but I'm watching the F1 qualifying going on one of my TVs here in the studio, and they're in Austria.
And I don't want to go sound of music on you, but what a beautiful country. That may be the most beautiful racetrack I've ever seen.
There are definitely a lot of picturesque tracks that the F1 circuit will go to, especially during the summer months when they pretty much spend the entire time in Europe. It's a hell of a lot more picturesque there when they go to Austria, Italy, and some other spots than when they spend the large portion of the schedule early and late in the campaign in the Middle East.
Fuhrman, very predictable that Bronny James goes to the Lakers 55th overall in the second round. But there were prices on this around different books, whether they're offshore or right there in Vegas. But because it was so predictable and it was such a known, how limited were those? And did it become a liability for certain books?
Not so much in terms of the team. He went from an even money favorite to go to the Lakers out to right around minus $1.10. So books didn't take nearly as much money there as they did on some of the long shot numbers that we joked about with people willing to take 200 to 1 on Bronny to be the first overall pick in the draft. What's interesting, though, was the over-under on his draft position, which opened at some of the larger books in the high 30s. That number continued to get bet out, and I don't think it ever peaked anywhere in the 50s. So for those folks that bet him over, regardless of what number they locked in, they were able to profit. If you're talking about the betting markets for the draft, and one of the bigger surprises that was out there, in the 24 to 36 hours leading up to the first round, one of the bigger movers was Dalton Knecht out of Tennessee. We saw his number go from 9.5 down to 7.5 with a heavy price tag attached to go under. Of course, he ends up with the Lakers at 17. So that was one of the bigger surprises from a betting market standpoint. No real shock in terms of the way the top 3 or top 4 played out.
Before we move away from basketball and talk baseball and football, can I ask you, can you actually wager on who will be the WNBA Rookie of the Year? Is that a legitimate bet in Las Vegas?
It was a market before, but if you want to bet into it now, the couple of shops that still have it up have Caitlin Clark, an overwhelming favorite. Last price I saw was she was right around minus 4,000, so you have to put up $40 just to make $1 coming back.
But she's not going to win it, Fuhrman. Go make some money today. Angel Reese is going to win this thing. She just her 9th double-double. So I'm not the voice of the W on the show, but maybe I am. Go cash some checks in Vegas, man. Angel Reese is going to be the Rookie of the Year.
I mean, there could be an opportunity then, Dunaway. This may be a chance for you to erase all of those losses in college basketball over the last decade or so with one particular ticket. The problem with some of these voted on awards, though, honestly, and why I don't tangle with them even in the NFL MVP and some of the higher profile markets, it's as much about narrative and handicapping the voters as it is on-field or on-court performance.
Yeah, poor Angel Reese. She never saw it coming, Lance.
Never saw it.
Never saw it coming.
Put me down, Angel Reese.
Okay.
Only Candace Parker has done what she's done her rookie year.
Poor Angel Reese.
Candace was pretty good.
The Orioles, Fuhrman, have caught the Yankees in the East. So I wanted to ask this. You have got the Phillies at 53 wins, the Yankees at 52 wins right now as we near the All-Star break, and all at 51 wins, Dodgers, Guardians, Orioles. How do you shake those teams out? Who is the best value? Who do you – I mean, what are the odds telling me right here with all these teams that are bunched together?
Well, the biggest thing for the Yankees, they're going to have to figure out their pitching situation, and it was a strength early on in the season. Garrett Cole hasn't exactly come off of the injured list looking like a Cy Young winner by any stretch. Carlos Rodon has seen a little bit of regression in his game, and while Luis Gil has been outstanding to kind of stabilize that staff, you look at some of his underlying numbers, and there are causes for concern there. So the Yankees may need to address, some of the pitching concerns that they have going forward. You mentioned Baltimore. This is a team who just outscores a lot of the issues that they have on the mound. They've dealt with a bevy of injuries themselves. As far as odds, and when you look at how these teams kind of stack up, the Dodgers still World Series favorites, the Yankees second on the board at most books, and the Phillies, those three teams more or less, you can throw a blanket over them, and that's when you get into the Baltimore Orioles, kind of that next tier below, with the Atlanta Braves, and a team who's seen their numbers shorten as well, mainly because of the division they play in, although Houston has bridged the gap a little bit, would be the Seattle Mariners. The team that's surprisingly not attracting a whole lot of interest in the betting market would be the Cleveland Guardians. I mean, this team continues to go out there, pitches well, has a good bullpen, and an underrated offense. You can find the Guardians pretty much throughout the market right around 20 to 1, if not a shade better.
So our resident White Sox fan, Scott Forrester, is out today, but yesterday he was asking me about my plays, and he was like, why don't you play Chris Sale against the White Sox. And I'm like, dude, this is baseball, and you can get in a lot of troubles laying big numbers. And what happens? The White Sox end up beating Sale 1-0.
He pitched well, though, but 1-0.
How often do you get just the casual bettors that come in, and I would think more so on the parlay cards, but just lay minus 250 plus when it comes to baseball?
You nailed it. It's all about parlay liability more so than it is straight bets. I think people that want some action in the middle of summer, especially as we get into the dog days now, with no NHL, no NBA, and if you don't have even a passing interest in soccer, it's baseball and not much else. So you're looking down the board on a day-to-day basis. You're trying to figure out, okay, who can I tie into a parlay? And it's not as much betting on some of the big favorites on the board, the Yankees when they were playing well, the Dodgers, teams like that. It's fading the White Sox. It's fading the Oakland A's. It's fading, well, the much-maligned Chicago Cubs now to a certain extent. And that's all books are looking for, one of those underdogs to come through and blow up a lot of the parlays that are out there. Because you're right, when you're talking about some of the straight bets, you're not getting a ton of professional action laying $3. You're not getting a ton of recreational bettors trying to clamor for the White Sox and that pitching staff and offense that can usually go into a shell. So that's where the money line becomes the great equalizer. And while the White Sox have been the least profitable team to bet on from a game-to-game standpoint, there are still going to be plenty of opportunities where you're going to land a couple of those big prices. And the one interesting thing about the White Sox, for as bad as they've been in the full game, because their bullpen can't get outs if their lives depended on it, this is a team that's actually been relatively profitable, all things considered, through the first 5-inning wager, just because their pitching staff has actually held up in that regard.
Best series of the weekend, Astros-Mets. Apple TV tonight. Astros have won 7 straight. The Mets have won 15 of 19. Two of the hottest teams in the league. If this was a 3-game series, who do you think walks away with the series this weekend?
The pitching numbers for the Astros are going to benefit them in terms of the way the rotation stacks up. But if you'd have told me the Mets could rattle off this particular streak when they were flirting with being, 10-plus games below 500, I probably would have laughed at you. And you look at their run differential now at plus 11, it actually puts them in that upper echelon of the National League. So we'll see if the Mets can continue this going forward. But this is the Houston Astros team who started the season on a bit of a swoon themselves, really starting to figure things out. And when you go through game by game and look at the way some of these pitching matchups line up, Ronel Blanco poised for a little bit of a regression for himself. The numbers from a batted balls in play standpoint, just not sustainable. Framber Valdez will be a favorite in tomorrow's game, and we'll see who the Astros announce as their Game 3 starter against Luis Severino. But no doubt, should be a series that's a whole lot of fun and one that I don't think any of us would have circled on their calendars when we were back in early June.
NASCAR is up in Nashville this weekend. Do you like racing at that track, and do you have a conversation? I know you break it down at Bet the Board podcast. Give me something to take away from the race this weekend.
I do like this track because it's so unique. It's right around a mile and a third. It's a full concrete surface, and when you look at some of the stops on the NASCAR Cup Series schedule, Bristol, half-mile, all concrete, and Dover, a mile. But this track will race a little bit more like an intermediate surface, so you look at some of the results from Kansas and Las Vegas. I think this sets up extremely well for Denny Hamlin coming in, and we've seen his number get bet down from right around 8-1 in the outright market into that 6 range. And when you're talking about Denny, his current form, nothing to write home about with, a couple of much-maligned finishes. But I think this is where that 11 car can go out there and really put the rest of the field in his rearview mirror. So Denny Hamlin, if you're looking to try and bet a outright price, would be my pick to win on Sunday at Nashville.
All right, stick with me here, Fuhrman. This question is probably not going where you think it is when I start to ask it, okay? But I know it is illegal to bet in the United States on presidential elections, but there are offshore international odds. Do you pay at all any attention to those?
I do watch them. Look, if you can come in there and put your political biases on the shelf, they can oftentimes give you plenty of opportunity and upside to be able to take advantage because there is a ton of public perception that are baked into the prices. And given what we saw last night on the debate, there was some movement that we saw in the odds market. Trump was the presidential favorite in the market coming in. We've seen his number shorten a little bit, meaning the price moved in his favor. But the bigger surprise on the Democratic side is that we saw some books take Gavin Newsom, who was 33-1 to win the presidential election, come all the way down to 8-1, and Joe Biden's numbers start to drift out. So again, these markets are different than a lot of sports because while you do get people that are slightly sophisticated, it's much more about information and trying to handicap what could happen, more so than leaning on some of the analytics and the data that you actually have for sports. So it'll be interesting to see where these prices go and exactly what the folks on the DNC side elect to do in terms of running Joe Biden again or going in a different direction.
And all the reports today are that he is staying in, or at least sources are saying that. But that's what I was going to ask you is, was there movement in a candidate to replace him? So you would say the biggest move then obviously would be Gavin Newsom.
Yep, he was the big beneficiary in the odds market, given what we've seen. Now, the other
wait, just for Americans' sake, who's the next one after that one?
Well, Biden is still the favorite to be run on the Democratic side. It's Gavin Newsom, number 2, and the VP, Kamala Harris. We've seen her numbers come down a little bit.
Okay,
but
who's
Newsom,
fourth?
Hillary Clinton is 5th on that board, and Michelle Obama slots in at 4 at a lot of books.
Okay.
Wow.
Interesting. All right.
Man knows it all.
Yeah, he does. You can't stump Fuhrman. BetTheBoardPodcast.com for all the actual sports. I was just curious about that one. BetTheBoardPodcast.com at Todd Fuhrman on Twitter. Fuhrman, thank you very much for the time. Have a great weekend.
You got it, gentlemen. Always a pleasure, and have a great 4th of July next week.
You too, buddy. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Fuhrman with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline.
Is there a group of 5 team that could make the race?
I saw somebody tweet last night. This is so good. Twitter's not what it used to be. I don't know why, but
because it's X now, right?
Yeah, it's true. It is literally not what it used to be, Lance. But it is. It's great on nights like that. And I saw somebody say, does another country have a president that Chris Del Conte could go steal for the United States? That's a really good tweet.
Yeah. What a selfish question right here on my inauguration here in Argentina, that I would go anywhere else. The show being brought to you by the Inverness Country Club. A great weekend coming up, a family time. Summer is always fun at Inverness Country Club, but so too is year-round festivities they have there. Great golf is when you think of a country club, you think great golf, but at Inverness, it is so much more with that, and it starts with just what they do for families.
Yeah, absolutely. Childcare. How about this? Not only do you have memberships that fit everyone from the social, including that resort-style pool complex, the golf membership, beautiful course, currently expanding the driving range, but childcare, big plus. You and your wife on a day of golf or tennis, guess what? You can drop the kid, go have yourself a day on the court or course, dinner with friends, knowing your kid is safe. On-site is huge. Maybe you work from home. What about working from the club while they watch your kid? These are things that can happen at Inverness Country Club. Find your sense of community at Inverness Country Club. You also, did you know you don't have to be a member in order to hold an event at Inverness? Inverness can hold anywhere from golf tournaments, corporate meetings, wedding receptions, anything between. Take a tour of this unbelievable club today. Call Erin. Tell her the next round sent you. 205-991-8608. That's 205-991-8608 or online, iccalabama.com.
All right. New Uncorked is out, mailbag from earlier this week, where Taylor is talking about a Boa Barkley debate and some other discussions there on Uncorked with a huge glass of red wine on a white couch. That is always dangerous, but Uncorked. You can get that right there as part of our family. And also a Pennant Grace live edition yesterday, but that stuff carries you into the weekend with Ush and Emily Grace McWhorter. Braves discussion. They led you into the 1-0 White Sox win yesterday on the pregame. Pirates in Atlanta, Pittsburgh, Atlanta this weekend over at Truist 6:20 first pitch. One more baseball thing, but go ahead.
No, did you see the Braves start time for Sunday? It's 10:35 local time. That is an early baseball game.
Wow.
On Roku TV is where you get that one.
10:35 a.m.?
10:35 a.m.
on Sunday?
Central Standard Time on
Sunday. Is it Patriot Day in Atlanta?
I don't know, but it is a 10:30 first pitch for Braves Pirates Sunday.
I would also point out for you Braves fans, 8 games back, but the Phillies starting to go through a little bit of what you've gone through all season long. Bryce Harper, final play of the game last night. Kyle Schwarber, final play of the game last night, groin problem. But Bryce Harper, soft tissue issue, going to be evaluated today. So 2 of their big players could
Something
be
to watch, no doubt.
Could be on the shelf for a little bit. That could close the gap.
Well, I tell you what, if you made me pick my World Series right now, I got no clue where I'd go. That's kind of why I asked Fuhrman that question. You got a bunch of teams bunched right there at the top.
Oh, the National League, everybody but the Rockies and Marlins still in the mix. We saw last year you could be the last team in and make it to the World Series. In fact, I still debate whether or not you really want to have the bye because the wild card round's so long, you almost are off for a week. And your baseball and your pitching can get out of whack in a whole week.
Yeah, it did work out for Arizona last year.
Yeah, so I'm I'm not sure what you do. It's almost turned into the Stanley Cup when you get to the playoffs at that point. So, but a good weekend for Pittsburgh and Atlanta over at Truist for you baseball fans out there. All right, when we come back to college football, our 40 and 40 team is coming up. We're to number 9 in the country. Also, still to come, 4 downs today. We'll get to that. The show being brought to you by our friends at Hemphill Services Heating and Cooling. Hey, we're going to cooled off a little bit yesterday. It was a perfect day for golf yesterday afternoon. 84 degrees out there after the rains. It's going to get hot again. You want that air conditioning working perfectly, LT.
Yeah, trusted in Birmingham. It's trusted since 1954 for all of your heating, cooling, and plumbing issues. It's hard to stop a train. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Whether you experience these issues in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
Follow Jon Lunceford on Twitter at jlunce.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on The Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at The Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Hang out with The Next Round on the go. Whether you're driving to work, running errands, sitting on the beach, or you just need a break from the real world, we can keep you company. Check out The Next Round, Mystery Fifth Hour, and our other shows on your favorite podcast app. We'll meet you there.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation, 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them The Next Round sent you, 969-8100 or Michelson. LaserVision.com.
Just because you've quit going to the gym, it doesn't mean that you have to quit gym altogether. Dunaway, that is. With our Next Round podcasts open 24/7, 365, you can access gym anytime you'd like. While you may have done away with your treadmill routine, our version of Dunaway is standing by, ready to get you back to your absolute best. Find all that lovely Jimmy D-led content on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and in the podcast section of nextroundlive.com. This message is sponsored by Jimmy Crypto Inc. and Jimmy Crypto for President.
Back with you on The Next Round. Our 40 and 40 countdown. Brought to you by our friends at mybookie.ag. Mybookie.ag. We're to number 9 in the country. We'll unveil the team coming up in just a second after Brownie tells us about mybookie.ag. But we're getting to it's almost time for another SEC team.
Oh, no.
No.
Back to the SEC. Well, once you get in the top 10, it's going to be all SEC and Big Ten, right?
It's got to be.
Mybookie.ag code Next Round is where you can go this football season, this baseball season. Even if you want to wait till basketball season, play anything, anytime, anywhere. MyBookie.ag. Code Next Round when you sign on, get that sign-on bonus. They got a revamped loyalty and VIP program. right there at mybookie.ag. But start with code next round to make sure you get that sign on at mybookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with mybookie.ag. They bring you the 40 and 40.
I was cueing you to this camera over here for a second.
I moved over.
Yeah, absolutely. Good transition from Brownie, the old anchor turn. All right, here we go. Tyler, give us the big board. Unveiling at number 9. Woo, M-I-Z-Z-O-U. It's Missouri. And all I can say, LT, is I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, look, I still don't think people believe not only in the Missouri brand, but Eli Drinkwitz. Gary Pinkel did an incredible job with this program. But let's face facts. He was 5-5, 6-7, 6-7, and then they jump up to 11 wins. I think you've got a quarterback in Brady Cook that probably, with his experience, could start for 10 SEC teams. I think you've got arguably one of the best players in all of football in Luther Burden III. Cody Schrader's a great back. So you've got a really 1-2-3 quality punch offensively, but they're not going to sneak up on anybody this year. And they are a sexy pick to make the college football playoff. If the defense can play like it did the second half of the season, they allowed 14 or fewer in 4 of their last 6 games, then you've got something. I just don't know if the defense can hold up against the schedule they've got coming up this year.
Oh, really? Because I was just about to say, I don't know in this new SEC that you can get a more favorable schedule.
Well,
they're
going to be favored based on what they did last year in 9 to 10 games.
So when you look at it, their non-conference is a breeze. Murray State, Buffalo, Boston College, and then they later on in the middle of the season are at UMass. Weird.
But they start with Vanderbilt in the SEC too, all at home, so 4-0.
Yeah, 4-0 at home. What could be a tough road trip to College Station.
Yeah, they'll be an underdog in that one.
Yep. They host Auburn.
They will be favored.
They'll be favored there. They're at Alabama.
They'll be an underdog.
There's
there.
your underdog.
Big game.
Then you host Oklahoma, at South Carolina, at State, and host Arkansas.
Yeah.
You're favored in all those probably.
Yeah, the Oklahoma is kind of a pick. That's why I was saying they could be favored 9 or 10 games. Like, I'm thinking just because they are not going to be the hunter, they're going to – hard to say Missouri is going to be hunted, but they are going to be a top 10 to top 15 team. So I don't think they're going to sneak up on anybody. With that said, I think they find a way to lose 9 games. If I'm a Missouri fan,
win 9 games.
Win 9 games, yeah.
I think they go 9-3. If you're a Missouri fan, are you disappointed 9-3? I guess you are.
Yeah, you're not in the playoffs, and we're to the point now where the playoffs are bust.
Give me
for everybody.
Just pop that back up, Tyler, if you don't mind. Give me your 3 losses. If they're 9-3, their 3 losses at Alabama,
A&M, at Bama, and Oklahoma.
Okay,
I would agree with that.
All right.
And,
that's fair enough.
And I don't put it past them dropping a game
Auburn,
they shouldn't drop.
out South Carolina.
Auburn, South Carolina, Mississippi State.
I mean,
and Arkansas has been kind of a weird, we'll call it a rivalry.
Yeah.
I don't know where A&M is when this game rolls around. I know Alabama will be favored when they play them.
I think A&M's going to be one of those teams that will get better with Mike Elko.
I know Alabama will be ranked. I didn't mean to say favored. Ranked when they play them. Oklahoma should be ranked when they play them. That might be the only 2 ranked teams they play. And that's my point, is moving forward, when you've got an SEC schedule and you only play 2 ranked teams, that's about as favorable as it gets.
And I could also see this. Let's say that they slide by A&M, which we're kind of unknown. A&M's got a lot of talent there. I like Elko. But if they were to win that game, they could be undefeated going to Tuscaloosa at the end of October. And that's one of those games that Alabama's probably like a 12 or 13-point favorite, and Missouri next to them is like number 6 nationally.
Yeah. And best
team
they've ever had.
Run off the field.
Yeah. To your point, LT, but the voters, 94 of us, do the ranking here. Put that back up there, Tyler, if you will. Missouri beat Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl for their 11th win in 2023. So they beat Ohio State at the end of the year last year. It was such a big win. But I wanted to point this out. Below them in the rankings you guys voted on, Utah yesterday, Utah, Missouri, neutral field. I would take Utah.
Neutral field is tough. I
would lean Utah.
Yeah.
I mean, I had Missouri at 15. I think they're 9-3 or 10-2.
LSU, Missouri, neutral field.
I like LSU.
I'd go LSU.
Florida State, Missouri, neutral field.
I would.
It's a tough one, too. It's about like Utah.
I would lean Missouri.
Yeah.
Penn State, Missouri, neutral field.
Tough one, too.
Yeah. Clemson, Missouri, neutral field.
I mean, all these are tough.
Lean Clemson.
Yeah. You already said Oklahoma could be a loss. Tennessee, Missouri, you'd take Tennessee.
Yeah, that's close.
Yeah, Miami. I mean,
what, are you building a new schedule?
No, I'm just saying those are the teams
schedule.
that we've just been counting down. So all the way down to Kansas State at 18 in our ranking. So to me, from 18 to 10, and then number 9, Missouri, we have a lot of teams that sort of are a lot alike. And we just have Missouri at the top of it.
That's why I think this year is going to be not only fascinating but fun, because you've got a lot of quality teams that are going to be 10 to 20 that will get into a college football playoff and ultimately can win a game or two.
And that's your point, is that 9 to 18 I just gave you in our rankings, they're all sort of similar teams, and those are the ones that will be fighting for the last playoff spot. So those games in October, November are going to be so meaningful, maybe not at the top of the standings, but just for those type teams to make a college football playoff.
Will say if Missouri is able to back up 11 wins and get to a college football playoff with 10 wins, we got to back up on Eli Drinkwitz.
No, I agree. I have been probably among his biggest critics, right? And
I
you're
think
right.
a lot of people have. I think it's more so that he was at Appalachian State, which is a really, really good Group 5, and it seems like he didn't really earn his way to an SEC job.
He only coached there 1 year. Scott Satterfield had built it up, and he took the Louisville job.
And I also think, if he looked like, I don't know, Marcus Freeman, you'd be like, okay, this guy looks like a head coach. I used the analogy before. He is the guy with the wife is bitching at the kids, and he's got every piece of beach cooler.
He's got those chairs on his shoulders.
Yeah, he's burned.
Yeah.
He hates his life.
Miserable.
He's just shaking. I can't believe
Dragging
she was
his
the
butt.
only one that would marry me. But I don't like my life.
8 teams left. That means we have 8 shows left until SEC Media Days. By the way, next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're here. Thursday is the 4th, Friday the 5th. We will not be here next week for that, but 3 shows next week, and then the 5 shows the week before. One team
So what
every
day?
day.
I've never heard this. What days are we off next week?
Thursday and Friday, the 4th and the 5th. We're here the 1st, 2nd, and the 3rd.
So that's official.
Yeah,
It's on the calendar.
I think that was decided way back in January. So it's a
because you and I heard differently. I mean, that's fine. That's perfect. But
I did.
Yeah, remember somebody brought it up the other day. They were weird days. So I just didn't know we.
I don't know.
It.
I just looked at the calendar. It's 4th and 5th.
So we get to the top 8 starting Monday, and 4 of the final 8 are SEC teams. So
imagine that.
Get ready for some SEC countdown.
Not surprised.
As we get ready, MyBookie.ag brings you this conversation.
Code next round when you sign on to MyBookie.ag. Get that sign-on bonus. MyBookie.ag code next round. They've got that revamped loyalty and VIP program. MyBookie.ag code next round. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.ag code next round.
All right, 4 Downs every day on the show is brought to you by our friends at Slice. Wonderful Slice Pizza will slide you in there for lunch, dinner, to go to take by the pool on the 4th if you'd like to.
Yes, 5 locations: Lakeview, Vestavia, Montevallo, Crestline Park, and now in Edgewood, right there at the corner of Oxmoor and Broadway. Local pizza, local ingredients, from the Bajaya Special to the Wing and a Prayer, the Hot Mama, the Spicy Hawaiian. You're going to love the entire menu. Go to slicebirmingham.com for more information.
First down.
Current job longer, Eli Drinkwitz or Lincoln Riley?
I mean, if Lincoln keeps losing recruits at this rate, I just don't.
Yeah, more importantly, if he loses 4 or 5 games.
I know. I just don't know. But then again, if you're USC, what do you do? I mean, I know they've never hesitated to fire guys. They fired Lane Kiffin on the tarmac. They fired Sark pretty quick. They fired Clay Helton. So, I mean, they don't drag their feet on doing that, I guess. I mean, you feel like they fire a guy pretty quick once they realize it has turned on them, don't they?
Yeah. I will say, though, this brand of football, not defensively, but offensively, it fits the USC brand a lot.
Also fits the NFL, though, too, LT.
It
And I wonder
does.
if Lincoln Riley's stock in the NFL, at some point, he weighs that more than his value in college athletics.
Well, I would just say Cliff Kingsbury had plenty of opportunities in the NFL. So if Kingsbury can get them, Lincoln Riley can definitely get them. So he does have an escape plan if, in fact, things go bad. Drinkwitz, all he's really got to do, I know it's going to be disappointing if they win, 7, 8, 9 games and don't get to a college football playoff this year. But, as long as he wins 7 or 8 in the newly expanded SEC, I don't really know what the expectation should be at Missouri.
I think Drinkwitz is at his job longer.
I agree.
Though Missouri is a job that you probably, if someone else wanted you could bounce and go somewhere else. Like a Tennessee, if for some reason Heupel flames out.
Second down.
John Cusack, great 80s star, 58 years old. Still does a lot of work. Better career ultimately, John Cusack or John Mulaney?
John Cusack. What was the movie, Rockstar?
Yours is a Serendipity.
He was in that too, but the one where you
Say Anything.
Say Anything.
The John Mulaney guy
was the
is
sign.
Got the boombox.
Yeah, I
got the
thought
boombox
Say
on.
Anything was very overrated. But John Mulaney
Wrote for SNL.
Yeah, my ex-wife and daughter love him, and I watched one stand-up, and he's dry, but he's funny.
He's very funny.
He's great. Former addict. That he did his whole new thing about being the intervention he had to go through.
Right.
With Olivia Munn now, right? He's with
Maybe.
Olivia Munn.
Yeah, he in his most recent stand-up special talked about getting taken intervention. They take him to a rehab facility, and he's literally pulling out drugs.
Yeah.
He had on him?
Put all your valuables here. And he's pulling out his wallet, his keys.
He's a great storyteller.
Cocaine.
Yeah.
Wow. I do think Mulaney's going to do this, and Cusack at 58 does
Well,
this.
he's pretty much done, yeah.
But Cusack's done a lot of things. Like Hot Tub Time Machine is so cheesy, but is one of the underrated raunchy comedies out there.
Mulaney married
made without him.
Mulaney's with Olivia
Yes.
Munn. Are they together?
That's what I just
Yeah, that's what Rocky
they
just
have,
said.
I think they just had a kid together too.
Wow.
Yeah. What is the signature John Q? Con Air?
That's not signature. It would be Say Anything.
Yeah,
Stand By Me?
serendipity. I mean, the
I
80s.
did not-
Eight Men Out.
8 Men. He's done a ton of things.
I did. He was one of my least favorite.
Grosse Pointe Blank.
One of my least favorite Grisham movies. What's the name of that one?
It's about the jury.
The
right?
gun
Runaway
industry.
Jury.
Yeah.
Runaway Jury.
Runaway Jury. Yeah, I did not like that one.
Thought it was
He's
pretty
been in
good.
a lot of things, but he's just not a guy that I
You liked
seek
it?
him out.
Who said that it was good?
I loved-
Oh, you
I
liked
loved-
Runaway
I
Jury?
didn't love it. I thought it was
Yeah.
okay.
Was it a fan?
Third down.
These get a little more difficult. John Elway, 64. Better career, John Elway or John Travolta?
Travolta's got airplanes at his house.
Yeah. I mean, look, Travolta's definitely got more money. I think
Travolta
John
had
Elway's
Kelly Preston. I don't think
plenty
Travolta
of money.
cared.
Travolta has had so much just tragedy in his life,
has,
losing his
hasn't he?
son Jet, losing his
Yeah.
wife Kelly. And from all I've heard, people can dog him out for the Scientology stuff, but I have heard he is the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah, I've said that before. So when he was making that NASCAR, I mean, did that movie ever even come out? The one
Yeah,
he
it's,
did?
it's out.
Yeah, I think
you
it
can
was
get it on
streaming.
pay-per-view.
Yeah. When he was doing that, he lived out at Shoal Creek and right off the 9th fairway. And when he was out there, you would talk to people when you played out there, and they were like, saw John Travolta the day he's the nicest guy. Like the entire staff talked about how nice he was. And then I've heard other people around town talk about running into him, and he was a really nice guy.
Yeah, my favorite Santa Claus is Billy Bob Thornton.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the coolest Santa Claus is probably John Travolta on the Capital One.
Oh yeah,
I mean, dude,
Yes,
dude
you're right.
drinks milk, dances, and he gets after it. I think Travolta is a very underrated actor
Yeah.
because he can play dumb, he can play cool. He's done some really good films. My favorite personally, outside of Pulp Fiction, is probably Get Shorty.
Look Who's Talking Now.
Yeah, I think I'd probably go John Travolta over John Elway. And I'm not a huge fan of his work.
Yeah, I would go Travolta.
Travolta for me too. Urban
Fourth
Cowboy.
down.
Elon Musk, 53 years old today. It's hard to believe. We talked about this trivia the other night that guy is only 53 just because
He looks older, first of all.
he does look older, but everything he's done. But if I asked you ultimately better career, Elon Musk or LeBron James? Elon Musk ain't drafting his son.
You don't think he's going to draft XY underscore?
Do you think anybody knows his son's name?
I
You
don't
got to
think
come up with a
he's-
nickname, right?
He's got a couple kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go LeBron James. One of the greatest of all time. The debate is he the greatest of all time? So that's enough for me to
I
put
don't
him
know.
past
All it
Elon
takes
Musk.
is one more great creation, right?
Dude invented PayPal, Starlink,
ruined Twitter,
Teslas.
See, I really don't think he ruined Twitter.
I don't know if Tesla's a.
By the way, did you hear the Tesla story with Randall Cobb?
The receiver,
the late
Randall Cobb?
Kentucky receiver, very
Yeah.
good for Green Bay. Yeah, so he had one of the, most people that have Teslas, I guess they got the charger at the house. His charger went up in flames so quick that the family could only get the dog out. Couldn't even put shoes on to get
Yeah,
out of the house.
I-
House completely in flames.
Yeah, I saw he almost lost his life. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that was the way the story was.
Wow.
That's crazy how
So
how
those
much
are
that
dangerous?
accelerates. I would assume so.
They're not installed
If they're
properly.
not installed properly, any electricity is dangerous. I'm going to go Elon Musk here. I think generally
I think I would go Elon, too.
inventors stand the test of time better than athletes do.
Well, look, he could invent something.
Never talk about Babe Ruth ever.
Like, it's hard to believe that we haven't had.
I mean, that was the dumbest response you could possibly had.
We haven't had the greatest. It's hard to say that we haven't had the greatest invention yet.
Well, it's like Thomas Edison or Babe Ruth.
I know. Like Dunaway says, we had to help Babe Ruth. Like we don't talk about a million inventors.
I guess teleportation could end up being the greatest invention.
No, it will be. Yeah, I think once we get teleportation, it will go air conditioner, or it will go teleportation, central air conditioner,
remote control,
the
wheel,
the panini press.
George Foreman grill. No, but I was going to say, Musk might have something that, like, you know, these inventions come out and you're like, oh my God, that was such an easy thing to think of. He might have one of these still that he could get into his 70s. So, you know, what's LeBron going to do?
Central heating and air is still the greatest invention we've ever had. But Musk, if he does teleportation, will pass that.
And that is 4 Downs?
That is 4 Downs, brought to you by our friends at Slice. Get in today, go see the Bajaya Brothers, created by the late Jeff Bajaya. His brothers continue to celebrate his legacy. Get in, see Jason and Chris. Tell them the next round sent you for lunch or dinner all weekend long. It is Slice.
A little NFL conversation when we come back, and more college football as we roll on. By the way, if you're wondering about the switch over in basketball of the Oregon basketball court, Tyler, if you will, give me those basketball courts. So the folks at Field of 68 took some of the unique basketball courts in college basketball. There's the Oregon one we showed you earlier this week. We think it's an improvement simply by the fact their trees that were brown don't look like they're dying anymore.
They got water.
Evergreen should be evergreen.
Well, you can actually see court now.
That's right. Yeah, I like that better. I would agree.
Okay, next one. Show me the next one. Anyone, doesn't matter what order. This is one of my favorite ones because it's a subtle ship there for the, what are they, the Norsemen?
The Norse. Just the Norse.
The Norsemen?
Just the Norse.
Northern Kentucky. That's on their sails. I like that. That's a good looking court for me. If you're gonna make your court not look traditional, I'm okay with that one.
That's a lot, but
that's
I mean, I'm never going to watch a Northern Kentucky game. This is miserably bad.
I don't like that, but if you remember what it looked like before that, that's an improvement.
Yeah.
At Memphis there. Give me the next one. TCU, horrible.
Oh, my gosh. What is that even?
I think it is their horned frog skin.
Frog skin?
Well, you know, those frogs, they shoot blood out of their eyes?
They do,
right?
When they get pissed.
At least put some blood drops on there, right?
Yeah.
Yep. FIU, I don't like this one because how can you tell up top when you're inbounds or out of bounds?
Yeah.
When you're in the water part, obviously on the beach.
But theirs used to have palm trees all over it. I mean, it's better, but I'm with you.
I thought it was Florida Atlantics that had palm trees.
Oh, was it?
There is Florida Atlantics with a palm tree.
Wow, that beach at FIU, you're right. That is tricky on the inbounds, out of bounds.
Yeah, hard to tell when you're inbounds, out of bounds. I don't have any more you got, Tyler. Is there any more or is that it? Okay.
North Texas? Yeah, so that's a lot.
I'm not a big fan of when the...
that's a big logo.
When it looks like you say brown, looks like you spilled
lacquer at midcourt.
Lacquer at midcourt.
Yeah, that's Texas A&M used to have that when they had the state of Texas on there. That's a lot there.
Yep.
Oh, not good at all.
Just too dark.
Yeah, way dark. Who is that?
That's Oakland. The Bears, Grizzlies. It's
the ones that just beat Kentucky?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
The Golden Grizzlies.
Just be prepared. The NBA, don't be surprised if the NBA gets really gaudy really soon on the courts.
Yeah. Well, they've had multiple courts. You know, they did last year with that Commissioner's Cup or whatever they played for.
Oh, yeah. When it was the other games, yeah.
Yeah, they had specialty courts for that.
I'm talking about, though, for 41 home games. Just be prepared.
Notre Dame, look at that.
I just I don't understand the 3-leaf clover that's white.
Yeah. Make
white.
it green. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
All right. Little basketball court. Oh, George Washington.
G-Dubs.
You like that? With the?
It's got the U.S. Capitol on it.
Not really.
It's a lot, again.
Washington Monument.
I'm going to shoot from the Senate.
Did you guys ever go out to find 4-leaf clovers?
I did, yeah. And I found a good many. We had clover in my yard.
Did you ever lie and get one clover and kind of split it and say you found one?
I had so many clovers. Yeah, I could find... in a given hour or two. This is back before we had anything to do in the 80s. I could find a 4-leaf clover or two on a day hunt.
Yeah, I found some of them
every day. You could go find
Pretty much. Yeah, and I was so superstitious. You wear them in your sweatbands when you're playing.
So Homewood, you had enough green space to go find a 4-leaf clover.
Yeah.
It's weird that you were a Lakers fan and you'd wear clovers.
That's true.
That's odd.
That is irony.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'm using the word irony right, but
cool.
that seems ironic.
Celtics fans swim in lakes.
That's true. They probably do.
I did see somewhere when I was on vacation, they were talking about everything that Alanis Morissette sang in Isn't It Ironic was not really ironic. She was using it wrong.
I didn't realize she was married to Ryan Reynolds. I know Deadpool and Wolverine's about to drop. But I didn't remember that. I know they're both Canadian.
Yeah.
So you don't consider that
he
irony?
definitely upgraded, didn't he?
She did.
She still. We went to her show. 2 years ago at Oak Mountain. She still can belt it out.
Oh yeah,
it was a great
I
show.
wouldn't mind seeing her.
She sang the national anthems at Game 7 of the Stanley Cup.
He won the lottery and died the next day.
Is that ironic?
That's sad.
Yeah.
It's a death row pardon 2 minutes too late. That is an irony. You're right. That's poor timing.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's an ironic.
It's rain on your wedding day. No, that's not really irony.
No, that's just bad luck.
Free ride when you've already paid.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just poor investments.
10,000 spoons when all you need
it was a TikTok video. It was like
a fly in your Chardonnay. That's shitty luck too.
It is. I've just never really thought of this, but you're right. That's really not irony.
It was a TikTok thing on the beach there. I was like, and this guy was like, "There's nothing ironic in this song," and he started running through it like you.
Fly is a little much. If you guys ever get a little small gnat in your drink, what do?
You work around it.
Well, you try to fish it out, but it's almost impossible because it dives down.
And then you
Get
just
your dirty ass finger in there.
Yeah,
All right, now it's clean. I got
and then
it.
sometimes I probably drank 100 gnats in my day.
You just kind of work around it and hope it's still on the piece of ice at the end. Yeah.
All right. When we come back, we'll continue NFL and college football conversations brought to you by our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Stay on top of your health, men. Get that appointment right now at Urology Centers of Alabama, 205-930-0920. Almost said, please vote for me in November. 205-930-0920. UrologyCentersAlabama.com. 16 locations. All over the Birmingham metro area, one close to you as well. If you're in the state of Alabama, go to this website. 36 urologists that will take care of you from kidney stones to prostate health and everything in between. Urology Centers of Alabama, 205-930-0920, UrologyCentersAlabama.com.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness. Man, I love a good meal. I'm Jim Dunaway. A good meal is what you get with my friend Sterling at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster. We're talking great southern fried chicken, wonderful sides, hand-cut chicken fingers, po' boys, and those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. You got a perfect menu for everybody. Champy's Chicken is perfect for watching the big game or taking a meal to the lake house, down to the coast, or stay in the restaurant and dine in a great atmosphere. It's all made fresh to order right there on 119 in Alabaster, Champy's Chicken.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation, 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you, 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
You never know what we're up to here at The Next Round. The easiest way to stay in the know with our antics and adventures is to follow The Next Round across all social media platforms at Next Round Live on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Whether it's Dunaway sleeping in the studio, Tim and Lunceford breaking down the latest movie release, or Game Day Chronicles, we are here to keep you updated on the latest sports news while, of course, having just a little bit of fun. Follow at Next Round Live across all platforms to join in.
For a great experience in golf, go to Bent Brook, just off I-459 in the Birmingham area. You've got 27 holes where you can play your 18 holes 6 different ways. Open 7 days a week with 5 sets of tees that makes golf enjoyable for any level golfer. You get complimentary GPS on every golf cart, and the AU Victory bent grass greens play as pure as any in the area. Bent Brook continues to improve with upgraded greens and redesigned holes. Book that next tee time right now. BentBrook.com. BentBrook.com.
When on YouTube, you constantly hear requests to please like and subscribe. Well, here at Disrupt Media, we aren't going to play that game. Those demands are frankly outdated. So we just want you to hit like or subscribe. It's like a choose-your-own-adventure novel. Pick a path, hit like, or hit subscribe. It's your call. We don't care which, just pick one. Or go to Roll Tide Pods and do it. Or War Damn Pods. Or the Disrupt Media YouTube channel. or The Meltdown. Just make a decision and stick with it. Like or subscribe, the choice is yours.
Everyone's wanting LT's reaction to the NFL antitrust ruling yesterday that will be appealed by the NFL. We'll get that after he tells us about our friends at Odie's.
Two great locations for you. The original we were at just a couple of nights ago for team trivia. We do that every Wednesday at the Crestline location. Of course, the newest location right there in Homewood if you're looking for lunch, dinner, great cocktails, ice cold beer buckets full of Bud Light. Stop in, see Will Haver, that great staff. Again, two locations, great food from Rodney Davis. The original location in Crestline, now the newest location right there in Edgewood.
I just got my notice from YouTube earlier this week that my renewal is coming up in August. For NFL Sunday ticket again, $349 for my Tampa Bay Buccaneers out-of-market games. 17 games, right?
Yeah,
How much is that per game? About $20?
Well, you got to go 18 week. Do you watch in the bye week?
Sure I do. Yeah.
So divided by 18, that's $20 a week. I mean, that is, if you look at it in those terms, that's $20 a week. That's a remarkable value.
I remember, believe it or not, there was a time that I did live endorsements for DirecTV Sunday Ticket. I didn't really endorse DirecTV. I was more endorsing Sunday Ticket. And I said it's the best value in sports. I got a couple of things in the mail about this class action lawsuit because I've been a Sunday Ticket holder since 1997. I think I got one season in all of those, so almost 30 years free. Based on something, I forgot what it was. But all the other years I paid, I always felt like it was a great value. So when I got multiple things about joining this class action lawsuit, as much as I disliked DirecTV, as much as I disliked the monopoly the NFL and DirecTV had on this thing, I just believed in my head it was a great value. So I never thought they were price gouging, and I am shocked that this thing is where it is right now because that's what it's all about. I mean, that is the crux of this litigation is they felt like they were being overcharged for games, and I don't know how you can say that.
Well, it comes down to the collusion of everyone manipulating it to drive up the price over the value, but you're saying y'all don't think it was priced too high.
But if you're living in North Dakota and you're a Dolphins fan, there's only one way you're going to be able to see it.
100%. The most damning evidence in this antitrust ruling, which I think the NFL will win on appeal, was that there was some change of emails and some options that ESPN had offered NFL a deal when it was up from bids from DirecTV that YouTube ended up that ESPN said they could do it for $70 a subscriber and still give NFL the same amount of money.
You guys help me out with the math because this is a big number. I can usually do regular math quickly on the fly, but when we're talking about now that it can be tripled under the antitrust laws, the NFL could end up paying out $14.5 billion.
Right.
So, and this would be paid to 2.5 million residents. So what? The calculator ain't going to handle this. It's too big, I think.
Well, we got $14 billion?
You've got $14.5 billion.
You got to turn it sideways.
Yeah, $14.5 billion divided by 2.5 million.
$14.5 billion divided by 2.5 million?
I think it's just
What do you think it is, Dunaway? Let's
I would
play
say
this game.
I'd say it's $400 or $500 a person.
What do you think it is, Dunaway?
I think it's going to end up being $2,400 a person.
Jim was actually closer. Really? $5,800 a person.
58?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
damn, I should have jumped on this.
Now, but that's 14,
that is taxable income, though.
But that's also not considering the attorney's cut. I mean, in a class action lawsuit, the attorneys are the ones that make out.
That's right. That's right. They get more than 50% usually.
Yeah, a lot of class
Anyway, I didn't read much on it. The only thing that caught my interest was it was Sunday Ticket. It was DirecTV. But when I saw that people were saying they were getting gouged, I disagree with that. I think it's an incredible value.
I've always thought that. And it depends on how you use Sunday Ticket. Like if you're, say, a Dallas Cowboys fan, almost every one of their games is accessible. I mean, they play very few games that you need Sunday Ticket to see if you're out of market, right? But if you're a Cowboys fan and you're like, I just want to watch the rest of the games, I don't know who wouldn't pay as an NFL fan $20 to say you can watch on Sunday any NFL game you want to.
The game that's most important to me, I want to watch that game. I don't care what is in my market. My team may play at 12. at 3 o'clock, I may not be interested in the biggest, or my team may be the biggest game of the week at 12 o'clock. I don't want what Birmingham's giving me. I want to watch the game I want to watch.
$20.
I am so excited, though, that I guarantee you YouTube is going to have more features where you can actually build your inbox. But the way my setup's going to be now, look, first world problems, but I only had 5 TVs in my basement. So there could be up to 9 games on a 12 o'clock. And I've got 5 games, and I'm having to flip one back and forth to check out the other games. Well, now with the quad box, I can do 65 with 4, 65 with 4, and then 165 with 1, and I can have everything.
I know. The YouTube TV Sunday ticket was far better than the DirecTV. I agree. So much more enjoyed the YouTube TV this past year.
I agree.
So, I mean, I don't know. I'm with Lance. Like $20 a week to get any NFL game you want, to me, is a heck of a value.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
like
not,
if you could only get the Dolphins, like I don't know what the number would be, but
I would pay $20 every Sunday to watch the Dolphins if that was my only option.
Yeah, I would pay a couple $100. Or I mean, it's probably, I don't even know what the number would be. It'd be a lot.
Say that.
Don't say it out loud.
Say that. Okay, a couple of NFL notes before LT tells us about Dr. B. Brandon Ayuk played college ball where?
Arizona State.
His quarterback when he was there, his last quarterback there was
Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels now the quarterback where?
That would be the Commanders.
Washington Commanders.
I got one.
Brandon Ayuk, 26 years old. Last year of his contract with the 49ers, 75 catches, 1,342 yards. San Francisco said they were not looking to get rid of him, want to re-sign him. He's been trying to do this with good faith. Then it leaks out that they have been shopping around. So now he's saying, send me to Washington. I want to go play with my guy.
I think at some point, if you are if you're San Francisco, you've got to start planning for life with a full-paid quarterback, don't you?
You do.
Because since he was Mr. Irrelevant, when does his option come up? Is it
going to
year
be
4?
Yeah, so this is year 3.
This is year 3, so his option's about to come up, right?
Yeah, so they could go on and do a deal now. They can wait till next year.
But you know what that deal is going to be? It ain't going to be cheap.
No, the deal is ultimately coming. You've got Christian McCaffrey, you got Deebo Samuel, you've got one of the best left tackles in Trent Williams,
George Kittle.
Yeah,
and then defensively,
I hadn't even gotten to the defense yet. And you go out and you draft Ricky Pearsall in the first round. That was to me the ultimate writing on the wall right there for Ayuk. And I think Ayuk is really good. Can he be a number 1? Maybe.
I mean, I thought he was really good. I almost liked him last year better than Deebo Samuels, and I don't know if that's because...
I just think Deebo can do a lot more. Ayuk can stretch the field, definitely, but Deebo's such a physical guy that can, basically line him up anywhere on the field.
And Deebo may have, pulled something that opened up the space for Ayuk to have the season he had without Deebo. Maybe he becomes the focus.
But if I need a receiver, Ayuk is a guy that I would absolutely love to have.
But you're talking about value and having to pay players. Browns Dolphins not willing, according to reports this week, to give Tua the mega deal that right now they want. They're not willing to give him golf money, 4 years, $212 million. Not willing to give him Trevor Lawrence money, 5 years, $275 million. He's going to make $23.2 this year in his final year of his contract. Where are you on this and Tua?
I want him to stay as a Miami Dolphin, obviously. I think Tua's got potential to be a top 5 quarterback. He led the league in passing. The one thing there are 2 things that are glaring weaknesses for Tua. Number 1, he's never won a postseason game. And number 2, until last year, he had never played a full season. Well, he checked one of those boxes at least temporarily. Doesn't mean he's fixed that issue, but he's at least shown you he could play a full season. He's never won a playoff game, though. And that's a lot to pay a guy that's never won a playoff game.
But, he's one of those guys that, I think he's probably going to be worth the money, but I want to see another year. And you got to be careful when you do this. And back to, Brock Purdy, I kind of want to see another year from Brock. I want to see another year from Jalen Hurts. I want to see another year from Jordan Love. To me, Jared Goff went to a Super Bowl when he wasn't that good, and then he backed it up with 2 really good years at Detroit. I think you saw enough out of Goff where he deserved his deal. I don't think Trevor Lawrence, you've seen enough with him.
I know, but that reset the market a little bit. And when he got that kind of money, if I'm Tua's people, I'm like, if Trevor Lawrence deserves that, what do I deserve? Here's the thing, Jim. If the Dolphins today said, we'll trade Tua Tagovailoa to you, how many teams do you think would take? All right, let's say if today Tua became a free agent, do you think he would reset the market in free agency? Don't you think a lot of teams would say, I really like his talent, but I wonder about his durability?
Well, here's what I would love.
Don't you think that would be the case?
Yeah,
though?
I do think that would be the case.
I was just sitting here thinking, would I want him in the Buccaneers?
Would you?
Obviously better than Baker.
Yeah,
he is.
I was going to make it more difficult. Like Dak Prescott or Tua. If you're the Dallas Cowboys, would you rather have Tua or Dak Prescott?
But even with my Buccaneers, I'm thinking, would I rather sign Tua long term, or would I wait and try to catch, a great college quarterback coming out or one of these guys when they become free agents.
So the Dolphins are in that same boat. They're like, I think if he became a free agent today, we would easily sign him in free agency. Like, we don't have to give him a contract. If it's just pure free agency, I think we would sign him. But then the Dolphins, I think, also know if he plays another year without injury, so it's back-to-back full seasons, and then by chance wins a playoff game next year, now all of a sudden free agency, he's a big number, and a lot of teams would take him.
So general managers, 32. If I asked you just quick around this, would you rather have Tua or Brock Purdy?
See, I think a lot of general managers probably think Brock Purdy is surrounded by so many great parts. That's what makes him good. But then I think some think Tua is in such a beneficial offense to him. That's what makes him so good.
I think Tua is surrounded by a lot of great talent.
100%
as well.
he is. Jalen Waddle and
do I get Kyle Shanahan with Purdy?
Yeah.
Tua, or Mike McDaniel with Tua, right?
Or Kirk Cousins.
I think most of them will take Tua just because of
age.
Tua or Trevor Lawrence.
I think they'd go Tua.
Tua or C.J. Stroud.
C.J.
You'd get a lot of general managers that love that first year, and they're like, boy, I'm getting a guy that has played 1 year and is this good.
Tua or Jared Goff.
Tua because of age, I think.
I mean, Goff's not even 30 yet, is he?
No.
No, he's got 12 more years to play, Brad.
I'd back off on that.
Tua or Jordan Love.
Jordan Love.
Probably Jordan Love.
Yeah. Just a couple more here. Tua or Jalen Hurts.
I think they'd go Tua right now. It might have been Hurts a year ago, though.
Yeah, it's halftime of the Georgia game for me. Give me Tua.
I don't know. Tua is fascinating to me, but I would like to see one. Like if he plays again, leads the league in passing, or right up there, they go back to the postseason, he stays healthy for a full 17, he deserves it.
Yeah, I would agree.
But see, I mean, you tell me your Bucks can have him, but you've got to have him for 10 years. He's your
wouldn't want that
quarterback for record. I'm like, I don't know. Is he going to be healthy for 10 years? Is he going to play 10 years?
That's the question mark. You don't know that with Joe Burrow either, though.
You don't know that for anybody.
Yeah.
You don't know that for
Well,
anybody.
I mean, some guys interesting. Somebody brought up the question yesterday, like outside of Mahomes, who would be your number 2 guy? And I saw a panel of 4 guys today, and Dan Graziano was one of those guys, and he took Joe Burrow. One was C.J. Stroud, one was Jordan Love. I didn't make it to a 4th. I turned it off by then. But Graziano went with Burrow, but he was like, I know you can't really trust the health. And, unfortunately for Burrow and Tua, this is a theme.
Yeah. All right. Show being brought to you by Dr. B. The guy's doing wonderful work with these 2 guys.
Yes. Since we started this venture, we'll be going on year 4 come August 16th. I noticed that I was thinning out a little bit. I asked around. Dr. Beckenstein is the name everyone mentioned. For more than 20 years, women and men have turned to Dr. B for a range of cosmetic and reconstructive procedures. He will use that experience, his advanced training, genetic testing to help his patients fully understand the procedures they are considering. Call Dr. Beckenstein and that great staff today. Schedule a consultation. Tell them the next round sent you. 205-319-0316. That's 205-319-0316. All I'm doing is the non-invasive treatment 3 times a week, 30 minutes each time on the couch. That is it. For more information, t3hair.net.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
You could win a Cadillac CT5 or your share of $25,000 in free play and cash at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Play the latest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can be a winner too. Come win your share during the Cadillac CT5 and $25,000 giveaway at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Drawings April 5th and 6th. Located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older, must be present to win.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
There is no better place to watch your favorite sporting events and enjoy great food than one of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons. The TVs are everywhere with your favorite sports, and the menu is second to none. From the great appetizers like the waffle cheese fries to the Avery Island salad, handhelds like the all-new chicken bomber, bistro specialties with a special taste of the bayou, the amazing hand-patty burgers, the great po' boys, and the specialty drinks. Visit any of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons: Greystone, Stadium Trace and Hoover, and the brand new location in Trussville.
Spring weather is here, and our friends at Hemp Hill Services are offering a $69 HVAC tune-up plus 10% off any service call when you mention the next round. Call Adam, Chad, and the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Make sure your HVAC unit is ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemp Hill Services, locally owned and operated independent train dealer. The team can service all makes and models. For all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Hemp Hill Services. It's hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com. That's 205-229-2090, hemphillservices.com.
Every day, someone is ridiculed and mocked for the clothing they chose to wear. It's a harsh reality we all must face. But you have the chance to change all of that with one visit to nextround.store. For just a few minutes of browsing, you will observe so many clothing options, from hats to hoodies to t-shirts. Please, for yourself or someone you love, go to nextround.store and embrace the warmth of true attire.
For a great experience in golf, go to Bent Brook, just off I-459 in the Birmingham area. You've got 27 holes where you can play your 18 holes 6 different ways. Open 7 days a week with 5 sets of tees that makes golf enjoyable for any level golfer. You get complimentary GPS on every golf cart, and the AU Victory bent grass greens play as pure as any in the area. Bent Brook continues to improve with upgraded greens and redesigned holes. Book that next tee time right now. BentBrook.com. BentBrook.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Final hour of the show, always brought to you by Champies. I'll tell you about Champies in just a second. First, I want to remind you that Notre Dame probably should be in the Big Ten. They signed they were excited yesterday, Notre Dame folks. They're getting a little old school rivalry game back. Notre Dame, Michigan State, 2026, 2027, little home and home. You know, same way when Notre Dame and Michigan play each other, Notre Dame and Michigan State. Those are just historic big games. And, Michigan State's not always good these days. Notre Dame is, but 2026, 2027, home and home there between the Spartans and the Fighting Irish. September games coming up. So it'll be fun there. Champies Chicken. Rockstar, while I'm talking Champies, can you do me a favor and go to pac-12.com? I think that's it, the official Pac-12 website. You may not think it's still alive, but I'll show you something here in just a second. Champies Chicken, where I can show you great lunch. Sterling and his crew brine that chicken overnight. That means it's soaking in flavor and spices and everything, and then it's cooked to order when you come in. So it comes out piping hot. ChampiesChicken.com, Highway 119 in Alabaster, hand-cut chicken fingers, Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, and so much more. Perfect for tailgating, ChampiesChicken.com. Rockstar has pulled it up. Pac12.com, the official website of the Pac-12, a conference that I didn't think really existed anymore, but it does. It's the saddest website in the world.
It really is.
It's got 2 teams.
This is the store that is liquidating, and it is going out of business, and you walk in, and it's got like 3 racks of clothes.
Look, what can I buy? I can buy Oregon State tickets.
Ooh.
I can shop Oregon State gear. I can buy Washington State tickets, or I can shop Washington State gear.
It really sucks because you think about how bad those programs were at one time and how much work they've put into it. And they're really relevant programs that they can beat really good teams on any given Saturday. And now without the support of those conferences, what really happens to Washington State and Oregon State?
They die on the vine. Rockstar, scroll back up.
A lot of blank space on these websites. This website.
This is the sad part. It's just
those two.
Yeah. Usually, is that the championship?
I think they are going to play for the Pac-12 championship.
Scroll back up. We got she had the interim tag removed. What's her job?
Right there.
She's the Washington State athletic director. Interim tag removed. They were like, you'll keep the job?
Yeah, you're not leaving?
You'll keep it? Okay, we'll take the interim off if you're willing to stay. You'll promise us you're staying, right?
Will you guys catch yourselves pulling for Washington State and Oregon State when they play other Pac-12s?
Not particularly.
See, I kind of will.
I'm not sure I will.
Rockstar, go up to shop. Let's see what kind of gear we can get. Lance has a cool Washington State shirt. You had it on.
So
Washington State, not Oregon State.
Our buddy Hamp said something. He was like, Washington State? I'm like, well, I randomly have a bunch of these T-shirts.
Oh, it's just going to be, this is going to be normal stuff you can get anywhere.
15% off site-wide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you need to go to retrobrand.com Those are the best T-shirts out there.
Retro brand?
Yeah. And you
oh,
can
that's what I'm
find-
wearing right here. Is that? No, that's not.
You
Never
can
mind.
find some, go to Retro Brand and then go to Washington State, Rocky. You'll see some really cool gear.
I like retro shirts.
Again, Alabama hoping to get another 5-star recruit coming up at 1:30 today. Dijon Lee is going to choose between Alabama, Georgia, Washington, and Texas A&M. Courtney Morgan, the general manager of Alabama, tweeting some stuff out as we speak, getting ready for the commitment later today, which I think he's doing live on one of the services. Speaking of live, as we speak, Taylor Korn is interviewing former Auburn quarterback Jason Campbell later today. She's got a new Uncorked, a series she's doing, counting down to Auburn start of the season. Uncorked Auburn edition is going on over on our Disrupt the Media site. You'll get to the new Uncorked with Jason Campbell talking Auburn football coming up a little bit later on. Retro Brand bringing you this part of the show. Rockstar is going to give us Washington State right here and the gear there.
I mean, those are cool shirts, and
I
they're
do like
so
that.
soft. And they've actually come down on price. They used to be.
You could save a
more
penny
than
on this
those.
one.
Yeah.
But I like the weird red wazoo. Don't
I
you?
kind of like that. That's what I said. The only thing I don't like about it is the different reds. And I don't wear a whole lot of, what do you call this next row on the far right? It's like the old baseball sleeve.
Yeah, that's
shirt.
very
I love those. I got a
Three-quarter
couple.
sleeve.
I
Dude,
don't
my
have.
favorite thing about shirts these days, let's put a random sticker right here.
Yeah.
I
at the
love
bottom.
that. You
I
can't
like
take it
that
off because
hat.
it'll rip.
Remember, I had on my Barron's version of that hat the
Yeah.
other night.
Yeah.
You had your Lakers version you pulled out from under a couch after
Yeah.
38 years yesterday.
1986.
Yeah, so that's an old Laker. You can go see that on our platform as well. LT's take on Bronny James, and we also did it to start this show as well. All right, one more college football thing to get to before we get to trash and before we get to the Floribama Lounge, brought to you today by our friends at Precision Sports. Precision Sports and Orthopedics, getting you back to work, back to play, back to life when you have an injury, whether it's a tweak on the pickleball court or, you know, maybe you brought down the rim and hurt your wrist while doing a Thunder. Who is it that used to break glass?
Daryl Dawkins, Chocolate Thunder?
Chocolate Thunder.
Do you guys remember the first time you saw somebody break glass in
I
a
do.
game?
I think it was Chocolate Thunder for me.
First time I saw it was Jerome Lane, Pittsburgh.
Oh,
like a
wasn't-
random Tuesday night.
Wasn't me, but I used to look for it. When
So
it happened,
excited.
it was such a big thing. Precision Sports gets you back to health. They'll diagnose you, they'll treat you, and they'll help you through the rehab process. To make an appointment and learn more, go to precisionsportsortho.com/2024, precisionsportsortho.com/2024, or call 205-512-3885 to make an appointment. Everything you need from the Brookwood Baptist Health family, locations Jasper to Alabaster and everywhere over the Birmingham metro area. 205-512-3885, precisionsportsortho.com/2024. It is crazy the buzz coming up for the EA Sports college football game, but we trashed their home field advantage.
Well, it was terrible.
It was one of the worst lists ever until you saw their offensive and defensive rankings yesterday, and we blew by this, but this is the offensive power rankings again yesterday.
Yeah, and we're good on this, by
And
the way.
it just dawned on me, one of your favorite offensive minds in Josh Heupel's Tennessee's not on here anywhere.
Yeah, I mentioned that yesterday.
And who
like,
else?
I think their offensive power rankings are not good.
Yeah.
The fact that Penn State's even mentioned.
And the fact that Clemson is number 10. Again, if
Yeah.
Clemson's number 10, book them in the college football playoff.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. The defensive ones that came out right after the show, even worse. Because if you will look right there at number 16, LT, second column, 4
Yeah, I
from the
see
top.
that.
Who is that?
That's USC.
That's USC?
Well, I mean,
And
LSU's
two down
Here's
is
what I'm
18
guessing.
is LSU?
Yeah. Tyler or Lunceford can jump in on this. I would guess that they have their power ratings for every single player, and they just do a compilation of that. But that doesn't, just because you got a bunch of 4 and 5 stars doesn't mean you got good defenses.
I mean, you can make it what you want, and this does one thing. You notice Colorado's very high on all of those.
Yep.
And they want to sell it because
That's
Colorado
right.
players are on the cover, and obviously you want to sell Dion. So,
Yeah, you're right. Based on this,
Yep.
Colorado should be a top 20 team this year.
Yeah, Lunceford
they
was
were
right.
like 11th or 12th overall. They released their overall rankings today.
Yeah. Yeah, and then look at them even ranked on defense as a joke. Colorado didn't stop anybody last year.
Oh, so they put out their overall rankings today?
Yeah.
Find that for me, Tyler, if you can. Find me the overall rankings. I want to see that. But just an absolute horrible list.
Yeah.
Starting with the home field advantage and then getting to that. I've seen the trailer for the game, and they have gone to great detail. Like
I'm not going to say you're the most excited.
Well,
I've seen somebody for this game, but you've got to be really, really
Colorado
close.
is 16th and 87 overall.
And they're overall, they're 16th.
They're right behind Ole Miss, who's 15th, and 88 overall.
Ridiculous.
Well, if they're 16th,
ahead of USC, ahead of Oklahoma, ahead of Wisconsin.
Yeah.
But they've got it now where we're touching the sign walking out at Notre Dame. We're touching the Gator walking out in Gainesville.
Touching the Rock at Clemson.
Touching the Rock and running down the hill at Clemson.
Touching Roll Tide Willie in Tuscaloosa.
I don't know what they're doing in Tuscaloosa.
You guys tell me, if Colorado ends up number 16th nationally at the end of the year, they've won 9 games.
Uh-huh.
He is your national coach of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys give me that, right?
Absolutely.
And
he'll be mentioned for big jobs.
Yeah,
whenever big jobs are open.
And I will apologize immediately.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. We'll make that a must-see video there.
Can I cut a finger off? Live on the show. If they finish top 20.
So if I asked you better chance of happening, Bronny James.
You dodged the question, Mr. President.
Is a 10-year starter in the NBA, or Deion wins a Big 12 championship at least one time in his career?
I would go Deion Big 12 championship.
Yeah, I think I would.
Versus 10-year starter. That is a long career in the NBA.
Well, I told LT if he averaged 8 points a game this year, Bronny, would he shave every hair in his body?
I don't want proof of that.
Yeah, I don't really know what that does for anybody.
If your head is shaved, I'll accept
I'm kind
it.
of like
head and eyebrows would be a
Well, he
blast.
shaved his eyebrows. They never grew back. Like, Dr. B's done a lot of work for me, so
That's
I don't want
right.
to shave it and then it just doesn't come back.
That doesn't make any sense. What is Tyler showing us? Is that the overall rankings?
This is EA Sports Top 25.
Okay.
Georgia, Ohio State, Oregon, Bama, Texas, Clemson, Notre Dame. Clemson would probably take that year right now.
It's in the playoff.
Yeah, looking down through there.
I mean, Colorado is the one that stands out the most.
Yeah, Wisconsin's not that good, I don't think. But
no, but you could sell me on that.
Wait, who is between Miami and Ole Miss?
It's Texas A&M.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
It looked like a Troy T. I didn't see the A.
Yeah, well, me too. I had to think, is that
Little
Troy?
dark.
Is it Temple? I just assumed the A and the M.
I think your top 12 teams would all take that.
Yeah.
You know, you just wonder about Miami and A&M and Ole Miss being right on the outside.
But to Lunceford's point, if you think they're not using Colorado as a marketing tool, everybody from Colorado, where you tell me what is 16 through 25, they all have the same rating. They're all 87. But let's put Colorado the highest possible of the 87s because that'll make news. That'll be 16, and that'll make some news.
I don't
there.
know why you got to make them good. Just put Deion on the cover.
I know.
Yep.
Can't you adjust it, though, once you buy the thing?
EA college football. There's recruiting. If you're doing the
Yeah.
dynasty after the first year, you're recruiting.
Oh, I do like this list, though.
These are the top 25 SEC player rankings. Luther Burden, the best in the league. You agree?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, could be the best in the country.
Malachi Starks is
Got no
next.
problem with that.
Carson Beck, the highest
No
quarterback.
problem.
Harold Perkins.
Well, can I put him in the right position if I'm playing EA Sports? Do I get to move him? Okay.
You can. Jalen Milroe. James Pierce.
This is good. This is good so far.
Shamar Turner. Danny Stutzman.
Yep.
Quinn Ewers and Brady Cook. That is a pretty good list.
Yeah, they did well there.
Yep.
I think some people scoffed when I said that Brady Cook would start for 10 SEC teams. Now, I'm not saying that EA Sports confirms that he would, but I do think he would.
They've been working on that game a couple of years, but you may have influenced some people for sure. Luther Burden, though, do you think having your best player being a receiver hurts you as a team, though? Isn't that the position you can take away the most?
I mean, the last time I remember a receiver by far, I mean, Devontae Smith was surrounded by so much talent. It's easy to say Devontae Smith was one of those guys, and for that year he probably was, but there was so much other talent. The last time I can really remember, and again, Brady Cook's good, Cody Schrader really good, was almost Larry Fitzgerald back in 03, 04 when he was runner-up.
Is Cody Schrader back?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is he really?
Schrader's back.
I didn't think he was. So
Yeah.
he's back, too?
Anyway, I think Luther Burden III will end up being a top 10 pick next year.
You know, there was a time where they just didn't use him enough, really.
Yeah.
Well, now they got a quarterback,
I know, they can get the ball to him. Yeah.
Pressure off of him with Schrader.
Yeah, I'm just saying that when you've got, Devontae had all those other talented players, so
Yeah.
you couldn't really just focus on taking Devontae out
right.
of the game. The other receivers have gotten a little bit better, but Luther Burden catches all the attention.
Well,
when
and
you're
I
playing
think Missouri just has to get creative, just ways to get him, touches and in space. And, this is a guy that's going to return kicks, too. I think a lot of fun to watch this year.
Yeah, Schrader was drafted this past year to the 49ers.
Oh, I thought Schrader was still there.
Joseph is a good call. Amari Cooper was him in 2014. He he did have all the hype coming in. And
Yeah,
grew
but
into
again,
that.
still Cooper had so much talent around him.
That receiving core not as talented as Alabama's became.
No, but I'm just talking about everything else. Great defense, really good
running
quarterback,
game.
really
Yeah.
good running back.
All right, we'll do trash when we come back. Rockstar's Floribama Lounge also coming up. The show being brought to you by our friends at Champy's, world-famous fried chicken. If you were at Champy's right now, Tyler, give me Tyler's microphone. If we were at Champy's right now, Tyler, what would you want to have to eat?
Oh, I'd go with a plate of tamales, some beans, collard greens.
Ooh, little green action there for you.
Curveball. Very descriptive.
Yeah.
That's
pork belly, collard
I'd eat
greens.
my weight in tamales.
Yeah,
And an iced tea.
Yeah, some iced tea. I asked Tyler, because Tyler is the guy up here that sort of goes and gets food for the the Meltdown crew every day.
Every day.
And I asked him, I said, have you gained weight since you started with us? I can't tell a difference in him, but every time I see him now, usually about this time of day when he's not filling in for Forrester, he's walking in with a big sack of food, and he's always eating. I see him eating up here, but he's at that great age. What are you, 23?
25.
25. He's sneaky old.
Somebody argued with me that Tyler's 30. I can't remember who was arguing. I was like, there is zero chance
We were
Tyler
talking
is
about
30.
Tyler a year or two ago, and I was like, he literally, when this before we knew how old, he could be 22, he could be 40.
Somebody told me he's in his 30s. I was like, Tyler's not in his 30s.
So you're 25?
Yeah.
You're like an intern like last week, it seems like. So it took you a while to get out of school like me?
When we do class of at Odie's, one of the wheel spins, and then Rockstar will go out and we'll point somebody out, and you've got to guess what year they graduated high school. Like, in that kind of dark lighting, he'd be tough with a hat on.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think if he was sitting down, too.
I don't think you look in your 40s, Tyler. I didn't.
I appreciate that.
Somebody was arguing you were in your 30s. I was like, I don't think he's 30.
My point on age is when you're at your age, even at 25, you can eat and never gain weight. You may want to slow down on going to get everybody lunch in a decade from now, if you're still going to get everybody lunch.
He's going to feed two giants.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, they've lost 80 pounds.
They still got to eat, though.
I mean, it really is.
I come on back in that room there holding one of those big turkey legs.
EG bitches about the people that live above her in her apartment complex.
Right.
Can you imagine if Lunceford and Melton were roommates and they lived in a top floor apartment?
And like to put things together at 3:30 in the morning?
Or Tim just suddenly gets into clogging. Damn it, that guy.
Tap dancing. All right, trash coming up on the other side. Back in a moment on TNR.
Call the next round now at 205-734-0923.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. On game day, you never have to decide which teams to watch, only what combination of bites, burgers, wings, and more to order. Plus, where else are your favorite draft beers always poured at a frozen 29 degrees? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late night bites. Only at Twin Peaks.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Our friends at Lanyas Furniture believe in getting more style for less. Lanyas offers a great selection of furniture for your living room, bedroom, dining room, home office, and entertainment room, helping you elevate your home design and decor. Lanyas offers everything from vibrant outdoor furniture to breezy home accents. Everything you need to create your own sunshine sanctuary. Right now, you can save up to 10% store-wide, receive $300 in Lanyas sleep credits with select mattress purchases, and access special financing on tons of hot buys. Take exit 280 off the I-65 Hallmark Farms exit today to see what Lanyas has to offer you.
For a great experience in golf, go to Bent Brook, just off I-459 in the Birmingham area. You've got 27 holes where you can play your 18 holes 6 different ways. Open 7 days a week with 5 sets of tees that makes golf enjoyable for any level golfer. You get complimentary GPS on every golf cart, and the AU Victory bent grass greens play as pure as any in the area. Bent Brook continues to improve with upgraded greens and redesigned holes. Book that next tee time right now. BentBrook.com. BentBrook.com.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
LT's Trash coming up in just a second as we get ready for another fun weekend. Hope you're spending time with friends and family or whatever you're doing as you get ready for the weekend. By the way, Pat McAfee on his way back to game day, according to the president, he says the reporting is true. He does not have a the president of ESPN.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Says that the reporting...
Because that could have come up in the debate last night, I'm not sure.
The reporting is true that there is no signed contract with McAfee yet, but that there's an agreement in place, and they're going to eventually sign a contract that he says McAfee is a great entertainer and likes to play up some things, but he does expect McAfee to be on game day.
So this was brought up while you were gone, and one concern Lance and I had was... I mean, especially in the pick segment. If Nick Saban participates in the pick segment, you've got Desmond, Reese, McAfee, Nick Saban, celebrity guest picker, Lee Corso, and Kirk Herbstreit.
That's right. 3's ideal. 4 is okay. Anything above 4 is too many.
So what the MyBookie.ag chat room seemed to agree upon, and we said the same, is maybe the celebrity picker has served its time. Like some are entertaining, because what Lance and I said is just do it when it makes a ton of sense. But don't do it every week.
Yeah, like if you have, if Barkley's like, hey, I want to do the Iron Bowl. Okay,
you're in.
Yeah,
okay,
we can make that. We can make those exceptions. We don't have to force it. I mean, give me when John Papelbon is one of the celebrity pickers.
I thought he was really good at Mississippi
I thought he was
State.
awful.
Oh, I thought he was one time. He's done it multiple times.
So hokey.
Yeah, but like if I'm in Tennessee and I can get Peyton Manning, I'm probably going to do that, right?
Right, yeah.
But if I'm having to really scour the internet to find who I'm...
But you don't even have to make them celebrity pickers. You just have them on the show that day, and you could talk about, a bunch of different things.
I was going to show you the post debate table. Somebody said this is the way game... Oh, I think it was Brett McMurray. Somebody showed me. I mean, it was a desk that had... I think it had 10? I thought it was 12.
I think it's 10 people on CNN right after the debate. Yeah.
And they were like, this is what game day is going to be like.
I left it on to see the reaction, and legitimately 10 people, and it would be like...
But a desk was built for it. I mean,
it was a desk built for 10 people, and one would talk, and then the next, and 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 it would get back around to somebody like, well, I want to respond to what Jim said about 30 minutes ago.
But first, let me tell you about our friends at Michelson.
But who was hosting? Like
Anderson Cooper.
So how difficult is it for Anderson Cooper to
He barely talked.
Impossible.
He barely talked. The most he talked was when Vice President Harris came on and he interviewed her. But I mean, it was just like it would start. They would just all start talking, and then if two of them started arguing, like you could hear 3 or 4 trying to jump in. And they were going back and forth. I mean, it was so crowded. It's so unnecessary. Why do you need 10 people?
And I didn't justify their paychecks.
Why do we know who any of them are? Now I don't watch the news channels.
What's so weird is ESPN's laid so many people off, but you have this massive amount of people on this one show that a lot of people don't watch. I mean, I don't know what ratings are
for game day.
They're still pretty good.
They would 3.2 last year was
3.2 million.
Yeah,
Other than live sports, what is ESPN's highest rated programming?
For a long time, it was, pardon the interruption, I don't know if that's still the case.
Actually, I do think it's
McAfee.
No, Stephen A.
Oh,
Smith
Stephen A.
in the morning now.
Oh, what is that? First Take? Is that First Take?
I think
but you don't work if you're watching First Take, right?
Yeah, but it is running in the mornings as you're getting ready, right? We catch a replay in here.
No, because it's Sports Center until 7 o'clock, and then it's Get Up from 7 until 9, I think, and then
maybe
I think
it's Get Up. Maybe that's what I'm confused about. Maybe it's Get Up. Anyway, Michelson Laser Vision. I was serious about that.
Yeah, 205-969-8100. Again, I had a friend go in there a couple of days ago. They couldn't do anything for him. They gave him, go see an ophthalmologist. They told him what he needed to do, but LASIK wasn't right for him. That's the integrity of Dr. Mark Michelson. I think I've talked to 4, 5, 6 people that have gone in there before, and they just weren't candidates.
Me too. Fuchs dystrophy. I have it.
You can schedule a hassle-free consultation, $0 to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. Call 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. Ask about the pre-inflation pricing. They're going to hook you up. I had the 2200 vision. I was legally blind without the aid of contacts. 2015 vision, better than 2020. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business. 205-969-8100 or michelsonlaservision.com.
By the way, Miles Russell, the 15-year-old who debuted on the PGA Tour yesterday, playing as an amateur at Rocket City. You said he shot, what, a +2 yesterday?
+2 yesterday. Not today, though. He's tearing it up today.
Is he really? Mm-hmm. So he's fighting to make the cut?
I think he's inside the cut line. I think he's 4 under on his day-to-day.
15 years old, and if he makes the cut on his first PGA Tour,
that's pretty impressive. Yeah, as a 15-year-old.
Balls might not have dropped.
And while you look that up, the amazing stat I didn't get to all week long, because we saw Edmonton lose the Stanley Cup back, was that Monday night?
It was Monday night.
It continues the amazing fact that hockey in Canada, they haven't raised the Stanley Cup since 1993. To put it in perspective, and some of you will remember this because we had the Birmingham Barracudas here in town for 2 years. We only had the Barracudas for 1, but for 2 years, the CFL tried an experiment where they had U.S. franchises. And in 1995, the Baltimore Stallions won the CFL championship, the Grey Cup. So an American team has raised the Grey Cup more recently than a hockey team has raised the Stanley Cup in Canada. That is insanity.
Yeah, really what do the Canadians have to stand on? Speaking of the Barracudas, I never went to a CUDA game. Did they play the song Barracuda by heart? Because we were...
Had to have.
We had I, Tanya in the background last night, and that song, it's part of their really 70s, 80s soundtrack. I, Tanya's a very good movie, by the way.
Help me out for those of you that went to the Barracudas game in 1994. That's when they played here in Birmingham. I remember the owner infamously said, "It's football. It's going to blow your socks off. You'll like it better than American football." I think
that was not true.
But I think they played it after every first down.
I could see it.
Barracuda.
First time. So where the old Jocks building was, the building next door is where Jocks used to be.
Right.
And I remember the first time I met Herb, I was up there in studio with Herb and Ben and a buddy of mine, the late Tommy Cummings. We went up there, but the Cuda's quarterback came in. He was like the next guest or the guest before him, and I remember Herb, introducing him. This guy's going to have a lot of fun in Birmingham. He had all this blonde hair,
Why were we not the Stallions? Was it the USFL owned that?
They owned the rights at that point.
To the Birmingham Stallions?
But somehow Baltimore was able to use the name. Baltimore Stallions. They got it somehow. They may have paid for it to be able to use it because they wanted to have a tie to the Colts. Remember, that was very recently after the Colts had moved to Indianapolis. But how good has the Stallions been in non-NFL football? 3 now in the spring league and 1 in the CFL.
Yeah.
4-time champions. It's Trash Time, brought to you by Mortgage Right. Let's do it.
After the break, we're going to interview Eric Weihenmayer, who climbed the highest mountain in the world, Mount Everest. But he's gay. He's blind.
LT's Trash is presented by Mortgage Right. Mortgages done the right way.
If you're looking for a new home, our friends at Mortgage Right here to help. Whether you're a first-time buyer or seasoned home buying veteran, their great service and low rates make the process easy. Speaking of veterans, veteran-founded right here in Birmingham. So whether you're looking for your final home, first home, whether you have a big down payment or need 100% financing, Mortgage Right, one-stop shop for mortgages. Visit them online, mortgageright.com. Call that 280 Birmingham number, 205-900-7200, NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender. Author Gary He is determined to show you a side of the eatery you never knew existed. And since he happens to be an award-winning photojournalist, he's doing it so in an impressive detail with a colorful new coffee table book entitled McAtlas.
Oh.
A McAtlas.
So where all the McDonald's are?
The aid of 200 mouth-watering photos taken in 55 countries across 6 continents. The book turns its attention primarily towards international peculiarities. Served up, and this actually would be kind of cool to look at. McDonald's beyond the American borders. Examples: France has got the McBaguette, the McSpaghetti out of the Philippines. Have courted social media stardom in recent years. Also chronicles lesser-known curiosities exhibited in far-flung franchises, including teardrop-shaped spaceship of glass in Georgia, Batumi, Georgia, and the world's only ski and McDonald's, buried in the snowdrifts 200 miles north of Stockholm, Sweden.
So at McDonald's in the Philippines, I can get a chicken leg and a plate of spaghetti?
Just so random.
It's
random.
I'd eat it, though, wouldn't you?
I would, yes.
Is that ranch?
I don't know. It
looks like a white container
white top.
holding something.
You think that's fresh mozzarella on top?
Yeah.
Now that's what I want.
The ham and egg twisty pasta.
That does not look good.
That is disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeesh. Look at that egg.
What else we got, right?
Egg McMuffin egg.
Do you have the McBaguette?
I think that's the only two I had. No, they didn't provide pictures. They just provide. He's not letting you look inside the book. I had to find these. elsewhere.
Can you go back to the book itself? Is that the book or is that a?
That's the book.
That's the way it looks.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
The sesame seed and it looks like the ingredients.
It's a good coffee table book.
I agree.
I saw you working hard to get to the file to be ready to go here.
Yeah.
And I was thinking several times as you're doing that, I go, I may want to clean up that file a little bit. And then you get to this, and I was like, that was a lot of work for a Photoshop.
Yeah.
But that's really the way the book looks.
Yeah. You think I just doodled that?
I did. Oh, I thought it was one of those cartoon books that when you're doing a news story on books and don't want to pay for something, use this.
Stock photo.
So is this next story a one-off, or can Tyler or Lunceford tell us, are gamers really this confrontational?
Oh, I'm sure they are.
Online gaming dispute made its way to the real world when a New Jersey man flew all the way to Florida to attack another player with a hammer. Edward Kang, 20, charged with attempted second-degree murder, armed burglary with a mask. He was arrested early Sunday morning. Kang and the victim, another young man around the same age as Kang, had never met in real life, but they both played Arch Age, medieval fantasy multiplayer online role-playing game.
He's known, I'm sure,
It's okay.
as... Is he known as Two Time? Is that his nickname online?
It's got to be.
It's the old
What
Two Time.
size shirt you want?
I'll take the 2X.
There's actually a story about a guy 2-time right now that you don't want to get into.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
Dang, Lunceford. That's
It's not this guy, but it's another guy.
Hey,
But is that what he's supporting? Is he supporting a Two Time there?
It could be. He's a big streamer. Who just
So
got in
that
trouble.
looks like he just wrote that on there with a Sharpie. That's not a brand, is it?
No, not really.
He also said, I'll go with these small lips and these small eyes, please.
Give me all the hair.
Give me all the cheeks and the hair
And
you
the
got.
old, give me some Pat Benatar.
He does have a little Pat Benatar.
Joan Jett. Give me the old Joan Jett.
Does he have the duck lips, too?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Gotta look good.
Yeah.
So Kang and the victim, they had never met. So Games Publisher announced in April that it would be shutting down servers in Europe and North America on June 27th, citing a declining number of active players. Kang flew from Newark, New Jersey to Jacksonville, Florida. Last Thursday, my favorite city, right? After telling his mother that he was going to visit a friend that he had met while playing a video game. That sounds normal. Yeah. Officials didn't say how Kang learned where the victim lives. Upon arrival, Kang took an Uber to the hotel about 35 miles north of Jacksonville, then bought a hammer at a local hardware store. Kang went to the victim's house, which was unlocked around 2 a.m. Sunday. Authorities said the victim was walking out of his bedroom when he was confronted by Kang, who hit him in the head with a hammer. Ooh. Two struggled as the victim called for help. His stepfather responded, helped to restrain Kang until police arrived. The victim suffered several head wounds that were not considered life-threatening. Once in custody, Kang told investigators that the victim is a, quote, bad person online.
Well, just imagine you're upset playing a game, somebody's talking trash to you, then your game's over, unplug, get online, buy a plane ticket, tell your mom you're going to go see a friend, fly, God knows, 5-6 hours in the air.
Find a hammer.
Get an Uber, go stay at a hotel, get a hammer, get an Uber, and go to the guy's house and hit him over the head. Like, just to be that pissed for that long Just to be that determined.
Over a game.
Yes.
Do you realize, though, it's been so long since a Miami newspaper has been able to use the headline, Kane hammers anything. Miami football's been so bad.
He's been trying so. I'll give you credit. Yes, I'll give you credit.
He sits
over a
back
game.
and he's quiet because he sits there and thinks, how can I do this? This is one of the more amazing stories that we have ever had on Trash. And I saw it on social media last night, so you didn't actually give it to me, but because we're going to skip your final story, Rocky, that you said that we're going to do another time. I don't know if you guys saw this story, but a lady has taken to social media to share her devastating story of how her husband's allegedly impregnated her identical twin sister.
Okay.
Because they struggle with infertility.
So this lady's husband has now impregnated her twin sister?
Yeah,
Is that what
so
you said?
the
Okay.
young woman said
she's not in on this?
This is a twist and a turn.
Right.
The young woman said that she has been trying to conceive with her husband for over 6.5 years.
Right.
Now, in her words, quote, my husband slept with my sister so we could have a baby. Firstly, I have an identical sister. I have fertility problems. She does not. My husband and I have been struggling to have a baby for the last 6.5 years. Without telling me, my sister and my husband decided to sleep together to get pregnant and surprise me with the news they were having a baby. So here's what's happened. He was banging the sister. They were having an affair.
Right.
They never wanted the sister to know, but because she got pregnant, they came up with the elaborate scheme. We're going to surprise sister and tell her this is a good idea. Guess what? Since she's got a divorce, her and the sister don't talk.
But his life really hasn't changed a lot.
I
Like
mean,
if I'm
he's out in public.
Just follow me here.
No, the twin sister. First of all,
just follow me here.
most
If I'm
people
going to
cheat for variety. Don't
that's what I was going to
Yeah.
say. If I'm going to cheat, I do not want. I want something different.
Yeah,
right?
I would word this differently. Like if you you're not going to eat the same cheeseburger every day
That's exactly
and then go out of town and say, "Oh, I got to get that cheeseburger." You're going to try something
That's
different.
exactly
Yeah,
right,
so
bro.
that's the way you would word that.
If I drive an Alfa Romeo, I'm not going to go steal another Alfa Romeo.
That's right. I'm going to steal a Corvette.
How
or
about
something like
this?
that.
Quote, my sister said it's not a big deal and that she is happy to do it for me, but it's not the same as a surrogate mother. This is not the same as my egg being implanted in her through fertility. She slept with my husband, and my husband says it's not cheating.
The husband.
I just can't get you a gift. Whatever I do.
Whatever I do.
I want to see the husband.
Now, you wanted a kid.
Yes, I want to see the husband back up his claim that it's not cheating.
But the twin sister now is done with this dude, too. So this dude's out. The sisters don't talk.
Well, they got a kid together.
Well, they were talking about putting the baby up for adoption, but I think now the one woman has kept it. It's a mess.
Which one? Which sister?
The one that had it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
All right.
The one that didn't want a kid.
But here's the weird twist in this story, potentially. The kid is going to look the same as it would if it was with your wife, right?
Chances are good.
I mean, it's an identical twin.
I don't
so
think softens the blow.
I don't
No,
think
I'm
it's
just
100%.
saying. I'm just saying, like, if you have a child outside of wedlock, it's not going to look the same as your child would have inside of wedlock. But in this situation, chances are it's going to be identical.
I would have gone. I'm the old deny until you die guy. I would have gone. Honey, did you ever see Single White Female? I didn't know it was. I thought it was you.
I got
didn't
confused.
know. I didn't know.
It was dark.
She was pretending to be you.
I
every time.
haven't seen pictures. I don't
All
know if you can
72
find pictures,
times.
Rocky. I wonder if they're identical. I mean, identical is identical. Like, to me, the Dubba twins, very difficult, Jennifer and Shelley, to tell apart.
That's
Absolutely.
right. Yeah, they were
identical.
They were identical twins.
Yeah. Again,
and close to perfect.
The weirdest story ever. And they tried so hard to have a kid. First of all,
we're off the Dubba twins.
Yeah.
We're back. Okay, I just want to make that clear.
First of all, for her and her husband for 6.5 years to try, and then her husband, not only the worst thing of the whole story is having an affair with his wife's twin sister, but to know there's a possibility that he can impregnate her.
We've got a TikTok. Can we watch TikToks just on the fly here?
Can we?
Let's see what she says. You're going to have to, there you go.
My husband and I have been struggling to have a baby for the last 6.5 years. Without telling me, my sister and my husband decided to sleep together to get pregnant and surprise me that they are having a baby. And my sister wants me to have this baby and raise her baby. after she slept with my husband. And he says that it's fine because it's like a surrogacy and it's the same thing and like genetically it's my baby.
Quite the sell.
My sister says it's no big deal, that she's happy to do it for me. This is not the same as surrogacy.
It's not.
This is not the same as
right.
my egg going inside her and doing a fertility treatment.
Correct.
She
That's
slept
right. That's right.
with my husband.
I can't confirm that, but yes.
Yeah, allegedly.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm going to call BS on this, by the way.
You don't think it's a true story?
No, I think this is one of those made-up stories.
Just trying to get attention?
To get followers and all of that and likes, and I don't think it really happened.
I love how it's
sister's
worded.
got the same size hand she has.
What is it? I think
She's been unwrapping that piece of gum for about an hour.
She's got hands?
I think the best part of it is they just to surprise me. It's like normally you throw a party to surprise people. You don't like.
No.
Oh, yeah, is gender reveal going to be awkward?
Yeah,
that's
I mean, it absolutely though. It's one of those things that you go in there and you'd like, hey, to have an egg planted, you know, to be able to do this, I'm going to carry this for you if you guys are up for that. But to do the act and then come in pregnant,
we got a surprise for you,
dude. I'm going to say this is the first time the twin sister has. This is not the first time she slept with her sister's boyfriend/husbands.
This is a recurring.
This is probably something that she.
But she did look like she had really huge hands, did she not?
I think that was a forced perspective. It was closer to the camera.
Yeah. All right. That is Trash Today, brought to you by our friends at Mortgage Right.
Yeah, our friends at Mortgage Right. It is buying season. Our friends at Mortgage Right here to help before you take the next steps on a new home purchase or refinance. Talk with the team at Mortgage Right. No cost or obligation to find out what you qualify for, 205-900-7200 or online, mortgageright.com.
Chris, that's what the eggplant emoji is, right? She did get egg planted.
When you said that, like, I like it. I like it with Parmesan.
Yeah, you choose words. That's the emoji you use, right? She wanted a little eggplant. When we come back, Rockstar slides into the Flora-Bama Lounge and sings us into the weekend. That is next right here on TNR.
Everything Alabama, all the time. Subscribe and set alerts at Roll Tide Pods on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing. Let's face it, a home is one of the most powerful assets you can have, and our friends at Mortgage Right want to help you build wealth through home ownership. Mortgage Right is all about providing competitive rates, a variety of loan products, and a multitude of resources for a seamless home buying experience. They treat their borrowers like family and are always looking to bring more happy homeowners under their roof. See more by visiting mortgageright.com/TNR today and start living. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, equal housing lender.
Spring weather is here, and our friends at Hemp Hill Services are offering a $69 HVAC tune-up plus 10% off any service call when you mention the next round. Call Adam, Chad, and the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Make sure your HVAC unit is ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemp Hill Services, locally owned and operated independent train dealer. The team can service all makes and models. For all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Hemp Hill Services. It's hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com. That's 205-229-2090, hemphillservices.com.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation, 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them The Next Round sent you, 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
I tell you all the time that when I can't get to the Floribama, I stay connected to the Floribama with Floribama Radio, where you get us on devices like iHeart. You can find the Floribama Radio app there. Just great music, programming, all genres of music there. Makes you feel like you're at the Floribama. Great drink, great beach, but music is sort of part of the fiber there at the Floribama, right?
Yeah, our friend Steve Powers sent me a text, Rocky, and he said, Rockstar's song today should be Sweet Home Alabama.
Why?
He said it's the 50th anniversary of the song this week. And I was like, there ain't a chance in hell he's going to play that song.
Have you ever played it?
I have.
Do you know the guitar, the opening guitar, little?
Is it
No, that's pretty darn close.
Dunaway. Turn it up.
There you go, Steve.
We don't need him around anyhow.
Anyway, if you are
you some bitch.
making plans for the 4th of July, the Floribama is your place to be. Freedom Run on Saturday, 4-mile run or 1-mile walk. The Miss Firecracker Bikini Contest at 3 o'clock. Ladies, register online at floribama.com for a chance to win $500. Come back to compete Labor Day weekend for the grand prize of $5,000. Floribama.com for more information. Bushwhackers are waiting for you at the Floribama all weekend long. Stop and see Steve, Jennifer, and that great staff at the Floribama.
Can you start Freebird? Such a good step. What about?
Can you give me 3 steps?
What about Simple Man?
I wish I could do that.
God, it's such a good song. I love Simple
Tuesday's
Man.
Gone?
Tuesday's Gone, yeah.
Oh, that's it. Oh, chills.
Oh, I love that song.
Please take me far.
That smell? No, I'm kidding. We are in a jukebox mood. If you wanted to randomly just let's call out songs, but
Which is what we've been doing. Well, I didn't really come in with it. You gave me a suggestion yesterday, which I don't know what year this is. How long we've been doing the lounge?
we did it 1 year. I know.
I know, but I'm saying how long we've been doing the actual lounge.
We did it. We started it downstairs.
Correct. With this song.
With this song.
Because the story was I was playing at Slice, and Dunaway was there and I have a recording somewhere because this is when I used to record all my gigs to insult myself by listening back to how I had a tune or whatever I was doing. But you can hear that you were there with Ted McInerney.
Oh, Ted.
Yeah.
TV Teddy?
Yep.
Tornado Ted.
Tornado Ted.
And I remember on the thing, I had finished this song. Just randomly, I played this song, and at the end of on the recording, you can just hear a random, yeah, and me going like, "Thanks, Dunaway." And then the next day, he comes in. We should do this thing called the lounge, where you like a tiki lounge with bean bags and
Lava
lamps and
Lava lamps.
So that's
but I remember
it was Dunaway's idea. I'll give him. He deserves all the credit for it.
Yeah.
I don't know how long we've been doing this.
A
It's
long
been over
time.
a decade.
That was back when you guys were painting me as just want to talk sports guy.
That's right.
Yeah, I remember
You
that guy.
fixed
We
it.
still are kind of that guy.
Well, we got to occasionally serve the meat.
Yes.
So this is the Floribama Lounge. What are you going to play for us?
Well, how about a little redemption song by Bob Marley?
This
So
is
you're
what
telling me
Jim
this was the
recommended.
first song we did?
Yes, I think this is what inspired you to do the lounge. And I didn't want to say I do not like the Eddie Vedder Beyonce version. She tries too hard.
Yeah.
She is trying way too hard.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's a beautiful song written by Bob Marley. And this is how it goes. You want to hear it? Okay. Boat pirates, yes, they're rabbi, sold out to the rich and shares. Minutes after they took I from the bottomless pit, our minds were made strong by the hands of the Almighty. We forward in this generation triumphantly. Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? 'Cause all I ever had, redemption song. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free your mind. Oh, have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of them can stop the time. How long can they steal our profits while we stand beside and look? Ooh, we forward in this generation. We got to fulfill the book. Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? 'Cause all I ever had, redemption song. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free your mind. We have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of them can stop the time. How long can they steal our profits while we stand aside and look? Ooh, we forward in this generation. We got to fulfill the book. Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? 'Cause all I ever had, redemption song. 'Cause all I ever had, redemption song. Redemption song, the song of freedom. La da 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 da.
Wow, so good.
Song of freedom. Thank you, Rocky. That's awesome. That's Floribama Lounge. One more time about the Floribama.
Speaking of freedom, the Freedom Run coming up 4th of July on Saturday. 4-mile run, 1-mile walk, Miss Firecracker Bikini Contest, 3 o'clock. Ladies, register online, floribama.com for a chance to win $500. Come back, compete Labor Day weekend for the grand prize of $5,000, floribama.com. More information, bushwhackers are waiting for you at Floribama all weekend long.
Living on sponge cake, watching the sun bathe. All of those terrorists covered with all
bubbly.
Strumming my 6-string on my front porch swing. Smell those shrimp, they're beginning to boil.
Sing it.
Wasted away again in Margaritaville, searching for my lost cigarette song. Some people claim Rockstar would never sing this song, but I know it's the whole damn album.
By the way, you can see Rockstar singing with the Black Jacket Symphony tonight if you're in Tennessee, Winchester, Tennessee, right there in the lake. Just Google for tickets, Black Jacket Symphony. That's tomorrow night for that concert. And then the next week in Tennessee as well, in Loudon,
Tennessee, and then Birmingham, Alabama,
I've
the
heard of that place.
BJCC on July 12th.
Yeah, so catch Rockstar beating Jimmy to the words of his own song. And it should be a fun time. It's in one of his live albums. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America. We'll see you Monday.